Good evening and welcome into Starmount High School in Boonville, North Carolina for another exciting edition of Friday Night Football here on Sky Zone Sports on Sky Zone HD Channel 1. Tyler Ashe alongside Nathan Ham. And Nate, this is the matchup we've been waiting for all season. Halloween night edition of Friday Night Football at Starmount High School. Huskies coming in riding high and undefeated. Starmount just one loss in conference play, 3 overall, 2 teams that look to be very evenly matched on paper.
Yeah, good to be here again, Tyler. Obviously, would like to have a little bit better weather conditions for tonight's key game, but, we'll see 2 completely contrasting styles of offense. Ashe will chuck it all night long. They want that air raid to be working. They want those sirens to be blaring. And for Starmount, if they don't throw a single pass all night, they're perfectly content with that.
That's exactly right, and you can't say that about too many teams. Even at the high school level, teams like to at least air it out somewhat, but not the case here at Starmount High School, as it is senior night, and they're recognizing their seniors, and we see all the captains for tonight's game making their way to midfield for the coin toss. There we see first for the host Rams, number 4, quarterback Zach Freed, number 17, fullback and middle linebacker Sawyer Davis, number 55, Garrett Stokes, offensive and defensive lineman, and then big man to watch out for on defense, especially number 65, Josh Hoosier, big 6'2", 260-pound senior, and for the Ashe County Huskies, Carter Calhoun, number 7, number 33, Brandon Blevins, number 77, Jason Baker, and, of course, senior QB, number 14, Connor Bowers. Ashe County has won the opening coin toss. They have deferred, though, to the second half, so they'll be kicking off. And before we get into the kickoff, we're going to take a break here for just a moment, take a look at the recap of last week's senior night for Ashe County High School. A big-time victory, getting the shutout, 54-0 against North Wilkes. Second down and goal. Bowers joined by Barnes in the backfield. He'll get the carry this time, not going to be touched, and just waltzes into the end zone. Bowers in the shotgun set, 4 wide receivers, 2 to the left and right, dropping back, looking to the corner of the end zone. Wide open is Mason McNeil, and he may not be a senior, but he knows how to make those big plays. Bogus in the shotgun, dropping back, throwing all the way over that near side. Pass is intercepted, deflected, and then into the hands of Evan Owen. He's turning it back up the field. Stopped at the 50. 14 in the shotgun. This time going to hand it off to Sullivan. No, he keeps it himself and stretches ahead, diving into the end zone on the option, and the senior QB takes it in for another Husky touchdown. Don't run off North Wilkes just yet, threatening here in this drive. From the 13-yard line, looking to the corner of the end zone, and did he hang on to it? This one is intercepted. Yes, indeed he did. And that is senior Evan Owen coming up with his second interception of the ball game. So Ashe County looks to just continue to pour it on here in this first half, and the handoff goes to Sullivan, untouched, cruises into the end zone yet again. Line 4 wide set, play action. Bowers, all kinds of time to throw. He's airmailing it deep and finds Carter Calhoun, 10-5. And the senior wideout comes up with his first touchdown of the season. Love to see that, Nate. Varsity level. Now on the read option, he's going to take it himself and dial it up for 6 more, nearly identical to the play we saw in the first half from Connor Bowers. Husky sideline for Ellis. Going to hand it off again, working that right side. Sullivan, what a stiff arm, and still fighting his way forward down to about the 15-yard line. Time off. This time Ellis going to keep it himself on the option. He's inside the 5, stretching forward, looking to the end zone, and did he cross it? Yes, he did. Colin Ellis on another read option. All alone in the backfield, dropping back, airing it out deep. Pass is deflected and into the hands of Joseph Louder. He's going back the other way. He's crossed the 30, the 40, the 50. He may take it all the way. Will finally be wrapped up by the quarterback, Bogus, but not before he gets all the way deep into North Wilkes territory. On the left, Thompson dropping back and looking to the left, fires it to the near sideline. Miller wide open, and he turns around, waltzes into the end zone. So Garrett Miller, the recipient there, another touchdown for Ashe County. And as we see, the Ashe County Huskies taking the field tonight. As you said, soggy conditions, to put it lightly. But they come off, as we saw there on the replays last week. A lot of things went right for Ashe County, both offensively and defensively. Hard to knock the Huskies on that big 54-0 victory over a struggling North Wilkes team.
Yeah, tremendous effort on both sides of the football. Of course, Ashe continually going down the field against that Viking defense. And the Ashe defense did a great job on its own. Absolutely gave up nothing to the Vikings. And be a little bit different story tonight. They will have their hands full with a stout Starmount rushing attack. But hopefully Ashe continues its strong defensive ways tonight.
Yeah, we've talked about the ever-improving Ashe County offense and the defense. They've stepped up as well. As Coach Hampton talks about all the time, everybody likes numbers and the offensive numbers that the Huskies are putting up, especially in this passing game. But you can't overlook this rushing attack, which could be a surprise weapon for this Ashe County squad despite the new air raid philosophy of this Husky offense and brought in by assistant coach Drew Piscopo. Gotta like the results so far this season, Nate. Huskies coming in 8-0 in the visiting white unis. Starmount 6-3 on the campaign. A battle for the top of the Mountain Valley Conference. Starmount in their home blue with the orange accent, and we are underway. Kendall Richardson's kickoff will be fielded at the 10-yard line by Johnson, trying to make his way back up the middle, evading a couple of Husky tacklers here early, dancing him to the near sideline, and still breaking tackles, evading them left and right, and he's into open field now. 40, 30, can they chase him down? They will not. 10-5, and just like that, Starmount comes out with a bang.
The Rams come out right away and punch the Huskies in the mouth. Probably the first time in a long time Ashe has trailed in a ball game. We'll get to see how Coach Hampton and his team responds.
So I was getting ready to say we'll see this Starmount offense take the field, but not to be the case. Some great blocking, and as you talked about, Ashe going to be in a quick hole here early, but some missed tacklers there. One notably there was from number 35, Ben Brown. We see there on replay on the near sideline, but can't just fault him. The Huskies just didn't look interested in tackling right there, Nate, wrapping up the return man, I should say.
Yeah, Starmount looked extremely fired up on that opening kick, got some good blocks, and just took it all the way to the house there. See if the Huskies can respond on their opening drive.
So extra point attempt will be delayed for just a moment. Some early movement up front. We'll see who they tab, if that's on Ashe County. And indeed it is. Offsides against Ashe. So we will re-kick on to do the kicking duties for the Rams. We see there number 7, Nick Gunnell. Freed on to hold. Snap, hold, kick is up. Low line drive kick, but it does sail through the uprights. So make it a full 7-point lead, just 17 seconds into this ball game. As we talked about it, coming out with a bang. Looks like they've got their double-barrel shotgun ready to go here at Starmount tonight.
Yeah, they wanted to send an early message to the Huskies. They've went undefeated this year, but you're down here in Booneville, time to take on a real opponent for the first time in a while.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see, as you mentioned just a moment ago, how the Huskies will respond to this. Not a situation they're used to being in really at all this season. We know early in the year they did face some stiff competition, especially in the High Brighton game, which ultimately was a no contest. But in that Watauga game as well, that one was a low-scoring affair. So we'll see how the Huskies can respond after you said taking a shot to the chin here to start off this ball game. Gunnell on with this kicking unit. Huskies back deep to receive. Already trailing 7-0, just 17 seconds into this ball game as that opening kickoff was taken back 90 yards by John Johnson. We know he's one to watch out for this Rams team, and proving why there. Low line drive kick this time will be fielded though. Ellis trying to find some room, shakes one tackler. He's trying to make some magic. He's out across the 30, the 35. Finally going to be wrestled down, but he can turn around there and say, hey, I can take it back a pretty good ways myself.
Gives Ashe good field position right here. Much needed good field position. Didn't want to start, make things even worse, starting deep in their own territory. They'll get the ball here at their own 40-yard line.
We see this Husky offense making their way onto the field, led by senior quarterback Connor Bowers. As we see there, just about to cross that 30 touchdown threshold on the season. Great campaign for him, over 2,300 yards. Quickly going to the air off play action. This one's going to be intercepted near midfield, working it back the other way. He's inside the 20, still on his feet, evading tacklers, and inside the 5, and touchdown, Starmount. There is a flag on the field, however, we'll see if this one will stand, but regardless, what a play there by number 22, Brandon Lopez.
Yeah, that's not the start Ashe was looking for on their first possession. Looks like the touchdown might be coming back here. Not 100% sure, but
indeed, it will be a flag marker down against Starmount, so Ashe County breathing a sigh of relief, and that would be an understatement right there, Nate. They really dodged a bullet.
Yeah, absolutely. Give up an opening kick return, then your first pass from scrimmage intercepted, but looked like right there Ashe will dodge a bullet. I believe they called roughing the passer on that one.
So that's going to move the ball up for the Huskies to Starmount's side of the field. Mark it down at the 45-yard line. Ashe going to have to try to respond quickly. Less than a minute into this ball game and already down by a touchdown after giving up that opening kickoff. 90 yards unofficially by John Johnson. Bowers in the gun. Airing it out deep to this left side, looking for McNeil, and a lot of contact. No flags, however, and that one's going to fall incomplete.
Looked like good coverage there from Austin Holcomb, but as you said, might have been a little early there on the contact. Could have thrown a flag on that one, but the ref decides to keep that one in his pocket. See what Ashe will do here on second down.
And Nate, you talked about it before, too, contrasting styles offensively. You got to look at it, Ashe with this brand new virtually air raid offense, while Starmount going with one of the oldest offenses around, the wing T, but Coach Johnson talks about it's sort of a hybrid, but they like to run that ball, just ground and pound team. Now Bowers going to try to get away, and he will not. Brought down with authority by number 24, Trey Bryant, coming up and making a huge play defensively as the senior defensive lineman.
Trey Bryant, one of their better athletes on the whole team. We'll see him plenty on offense tonight as well. But right there, great job getting pass rush off the edge. Brings Bowers down for a big loss.
You said it there, a big-time loss on second down. That's going to make it third down and 19. They're going to spot it. Back on the Ashe County side of the field, their own 46-yard line. Bowers in the gun, 4 wide, trips to the left. McNeil getting the one-on-one up top at your screen. Airmailing it deep this time down the middle. And this one also falls incomplete. Not a bad throw there, but even better defense.
Yeah, looks like Colin Ellis.
See a little extracurricular activity after the play. Ellis pushing the defender. That's Zach Freed, the opposing quarterback, and you can't get away with that one right in front of the head official.
It looks like Tempers might have gotten the best of our sophomore receiver there, but he made a great effort trying to pull that ball in, but sometimes you just got to hold those emotions in check a little bit.
So an incomplete pass, but after the fact, we're going to get unsportsmanlike conduct against the sophomore dual threat, Colin Ellis. Maybe just a sign of being a little frustrated here early on. You're already trailing 7-0, not the best of conditions, and probably not too happy with yourself missing a potentially great catch, and let his emotions get the better of him right there.
Yeah, he's a younger kid. This is a big game. Maybe not quite used to this kind of important ball game right here, but I'm sure Coach Hampton will get him calmed down, and the rest of the kids hopefully follow suit.
On to kick this one away is Mason McNeil, and it's a great punt. Will be need. Fair catch called for and made right at the 21-yard line by John Johnson. Definitely don't want to give him an opportunity to return another one. We saw what he did in the opening kickoff. Not a bad job there by Ashe County. All being said, by being able to pin Starmount with the long field this time, taking over from their own 22-yard line.
And Ashe will get a look for the first time tonight at the Rams offense. See if that run defense can step up tonight. They're going to have to if we want to win this ball game.
You talked about it. These guys do not throw the ball. Only 32 pass attempts unofficially, according to some stats we saw. As we see a loose ball off the first play. And who came up with this one? Flags also on the field, it appears. Looks like Starmount will maintain possession, so they dodge a bullet on their first offensive possession, much as Ashe did. We'll see what the penalty marker is for on the field. Still waiting on official word. We're going to get it.
Looked like a legal shift there called on Starmount. And also a face mask against the Huskies. We'll have offsetting penalties here.
So Ashe thought they were going to catch a break a little bit here on defense. Thought they'd get back Starmount up after that penalty, but then they call a face mask as well against the Huskies. As you said, those penalties going to offset. So we'll redo the down after the offsetting penalty markers on the field.
2 penalties that will nullify the play.
So the 10-15 mark in this first period. Starmount on top early here on the Sky Zone HD Game of the Week, brought to you by Miller Insurance. Big time game would be an understatement. Just one game remaining in the season after this, and it is senior night here at Starmount High School. Ashe County looking to come up with a big victory, and here's a big-time play from the first play of scrimmage now after the first one was nullified, and that's a great run right off the bat by number 25, Ken Kelly.
Powerful run there by the running back. Got through the Ashe defense with ease there, unfortunately.
Second, about a yard for first.
Nearly picks up the first, does the senior, and they're actually going to measure, so we'll see if he did pick that up. Ken Kelly, he's a load back there, Nate, 5'10", 190.
Yeah, a little bowling ball right there, but made Ashe miss. Had a wide open running gap there. See if he picked up the first down.
Let's bring on the chain gang as they will stretch it out on the near side of the field. It's going to be close. And they have it by a nose. So a nice gainer to start off the ball game for Starmount. First play after the penalty, 10 yards, not a bad start for this Rams team.
Yeah, absolutely. Starmount wants to get that ball going downhill, use up time on the clock, keep the powerful Husky offense off the field. Runs like that, that's exactly what they're looking for.
After the gain, going to be 1st and 10 for the Rams. You'll see a lot of motion with this offense. They like to try to get to the edge in this wing tee. As we said, the contrasting styles, old school versus new school. Here's a handoff just straight up off the right tackle. Sawyer Davis unable to find much room to operate, however. It's going to bring up 2nd down.
Second and 8.
Only picked up a pair with that run. Huskies going to have their hands full tonight, both offensively and defensively, against this Starmount team. Nate, they just seem to always have great team speed overall.
Yeah, always a well-coached team. They do have some very good athletes. Year in and year out, you can count on them being near the top of the Mountain Valley Conference.
There's a sweep over to the left side and paying big dividends with that run. Some nice blocking up front. Austin Baucom.
First down.
Excuse me, that's going to be Trey Lomax on the carry. Stopped just shy of the 50-yard line. So another quick first down for Starmount. Already 2 picked up on this drive.
First down round.
Both these squads we know can put up points in bunches. Ashe more of the quick strike offense. Starmount's going to employ the philosophy that Allegheny did against Ashe, try to control that clock and just impose their will against Ashe County. We know the Trojans were unsuccessful at Ashe County High Schools. We see the second play, or first play after the pickup of the first down into the hands of number 76, Hunter Scott. Nice stop there on that run.
Good step-up play there by the defensive line. First big stop of the night for Ashe. See if they can get a couple more of those and get the ball back.
That makes it 2nd down and 8. As we said, it's going to be similar to the time of possession anyway, Allegheny versus Ashe, in which Allegheny really controlled the clock. However, they were unable to come up with points. There's a few drives stalled on them. Now one of the few throws we'll see, and this one is picked off and going the other way. My goodness, what an athletic play there, Nate. Tristan Jones almost like an alley-oop to his teammate Owen.
A big-time interception there. Owen just continues to rack up interceptions. That may be 3 straight games with an interception for the senior. But nonetheless, kind of surprised Starmount went to the air right there as well as they were moving the football. Tried to catch Ashe off guard a little bit, but throw was well underthrown and great play by the Ashe defense.
Yeah, that one was to no avail. Tristan Jones, just a sophomore linebacker, showing off his ups, getting a hand on that pass and into the hands of his teammate. Now we're going to see Bowers flush from the pocket, throwing on the run. This pass is caught, and carrying a couple of defenders with him that time is Jacob Worley, making a nice catch and picking up the first down for the Huskies.
I believe that's the first down of the night for Ashe, not coming from a penalty. See if they can keep the ball going down the field, tie this score up.
We talked about it all season long. These young players stepping up for this Ashe County squad, the sophomores, Tristan Jones on defense, and then on offense, of course, Sky Sullivan and Colin Ellis. And there they prove it once again, this time 4 wide, looking to the far sideline. Pass is reeled in. Nice catch. It's going to be close to first down yardage. And there's a quick target again to Jacob Worley.
Worley so far being able to get open against the Ram defense, and Bowers finding him easily for some yardage.
And folks, keep looking for number 80 on the field. You unfortunately will not see him tonight. Out of action is senior wideout Jacob Blevins, the top receiver for the Ashe County Huskies. Sort of what we call a dead leg. Suffered that last week, came up a little limp in the second quarter. I know it was the first half last week against North Wilkes, unfortunately, and has been a no-go for practice this week. And you certainly want to make sure he's healthy before you send a speedster like him out on the field. So Jacob Blevins inactive tonight. 4 wide once again for the Huskies. Here comes a bubble screen, but a bit underthrown. He was looking for Worley again. Right out of the gates, going to Jacob Worley early and often.
Yeah, he's had some big games this year, and, well, everybody on our wide receiving staff really has. But earlier in the season, Blevins missed some time, and he was one of the key players to step up with him out. And I'm sure Bowers remembers that, and he's going to go to him early and often here tonight.
As you said, he will certainly be targeted more with just the fact of Jacob Blevins being absent tonight. We'll see how that hurts Ashe County offensively. Never can quite replace a big playmaker like him. This time Bowers flush from the pocket again. He's going to be brought down hard, and none other than Trey Bryant doing it again, Nate.
He's really just having his way with the Ashe County offensive line right now, just way too quick off of the edge.
We always talk about the great end-to-end speed of the Starmount teams overall. They display it both on offense and defense. And one thing you'll notice on this Starmount team, you look at these players out here and those numbers, you're going to see those on both sides of the football. They like to employ just two-way off players. A lot of these guys going to be out there on offense and defense tonight. Look for them to get a lot of snaps. Maybe that could be an advantage for the Huskies. Here's a screenplay drawn up. Hit as he threw was Bowers, and this one's going to fall incomplete, looking in the way of Hunter Barnes. That's going to bring up 4th down and very long situation now for Ashe County. And that's probably going to bring out the punting unit.
And as you said, Starmount, they really do put their best players on the field. And, you know, sometimes that's a necessity. They're a 1A school, quite a bit smaller than Ashe. And sometimes you just can't build up the depth like the Huskies have been blessed with this season.
Good high kick once again. This one, a big trouble fielding it. Did Ashe County come up with the ball? Yes, they did. Special teams play comes in to be a factor here on this one, and Ashe County will look to capitalize. They're going to start this one off 1st and goal.
Yeah, Ashe needs to put this one in the end zone. Stay right here with the Rams offense. So far, they've really done a good job of moving the football. Ashe, not quite as much, but right here they can equalize things with a touchdown.
So this one potentially tying score. Could be gift wrapped for the Ashe County Huskies just when you see them get stopped for the second time on offense, something you don't see a lot, consecutive trips coming up with no points. Ashe County gets a chance to redeem themselves here. It's going to be 1st and goal after they recovered the mishandled punt from the 9-yard line. Bowers dropping back. He's going to take it himself. He's looking end zone, diving ahead. Did he get in? No, he did not. Stopped just shy of the goal line. That's something we've seen Connor Bowers capitalize on in the very recent past, just last week on the QB draw.
Yeah, he's been willing to use his legs a lot more now, and especially earlier in the season. And going back to last season, not trying to run near as much last year, but right now using his athleticism as a weapon.
2nd goal from the 2. The big man Sullivan getting the carry, and he's rewarded with a touchdown. Ashe County just 1 point away from tying this one up, and what a nice response there for this Ashe County team.
You're exactly right. Good answer there. And Ashe, well-deserved being able to get down there, get the special teams turnover, and punch this one into the end zone.
Special teams for both squads coming up big early on in this ball game. Already a kickoff return for a touchdown, the opening one of the night by John Johnson for 90 yards. And there we see Ashe County. They always seem to have a nose for that football, whether they're on defense or special teams. And they come up with a loose ball there after the punt was mishandled. 1st and goal from the 9, and now the extra point attempt is up, and Richardson's kick is good. So Ashe County Huskies have tied this thing up just under halfway through this first period tonight. As we take a look at that drive to the end zone. But first, let's see what there is a call on the field before we show you that, and that's going to be roughing the kicker against Starmount, and I believe that will be assessed on the kickoff. So Ashe County really having a chance to pin them deep. But as we show you again here on that drive summary, didn't take the Huskies long, just a few seconds there to go 2 plays and 9 yards after recovering the mishandled punt. Bowers, 1 carry for 7 yards, but big sophomore Sky Sullivan punching that one in, Nate.
Yeah, halfway here through the first quarter, both teams tied up at 7. Lots of time left to play, but Ashe has to feel pretty good. They're right here in this ball game, and the offense really hasn't been able to get any sort of rhythm at all.
May not like what you've seen, like you said, offensively, result-wise for Ashe County, but you look up at that scoreboard and you see you're still in this thing midway through this first period after giving up the opening kickoff for it, return for a touchdown, 90 yards. And like you said, despite some inconsistency on offense, you've tied this thing up right now with some great special teams play. We'll see if that continues. Richardson on to kick this one off after the penalty. It'll be on Starmount's side of the field for the kickoff. See teams try onside kick. I'll get it right eventually sometimes in this situation, but Richardson, he's just going to put his big toe into this one and not risk a return.
Don't blame him there with Starmount's run-heavy offense. Make them start, pretty deep in their own territory there. Make them put some long runs together, put a drive together, and score against a tough defense that's been playing well all season long.
As you said, coming up with their first shutout of the season last week, did the Ashe County Huskies, albeit against a struggling North Wilkes squad. As a defense, you don't care, Nate. You still want to see those zeros up on the board.
Yeah, that's still something to be very proud of, even if it was a winless football team. Still, great job keeping them out of the end zone for 4 quarters.
This time, Freed going to keep it himself. He fights out across the 25-yard line. Not a bad pickup on first down. It's going to be a gain of about 5. As we talked about, Ashe County giving up points few and far between recently. So we see them coming into this one, of course, undefeated those last few weeks, averaging well over 50 points against the Wilkes County schools.
Yeah, big start here to the conference slate of games, but as most people have noticed, your 2 toughest opponents right here to end the regular season.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't get any easier for the Huskies these last 2 games on the road. How about that run by Bryant, refusing to go down? We've seen him on defense already making some big plays, and there the senior running back comes up with a nice 7-8 yard gain to pick up the first down.
Yeah, big running back there, listed, I believe, 6'2", 185 pounds, big size there. Maybe considered a fullback in their offense with that kind of size, but either way, just finds the hole, hits it hard right up the middle.
And the way this offense is set up, you never know who is going to get the carry on offense. There we see handoff, bouncing off tacklers is Johnson. Boy, he's so quick with that football, and he's going to get out across the 40-yard line. Pick up about 4 yards.
2nd and 6.
Right
now, Nate, Starmount really having their way on offense.
Yeah, rushing attacks working very well. Usually if you can get 4 or 5 yards of carry, you're going to take that every day of the week.
Coach Johnson's philosophy, run, and then run some more. And he works that to a lot of success here at Starmount High School. Here's a sweep off to the left side. This time, this one's going nowhere. Huskies finally able to force him down. That was number 22, Brandon Lopez, that time on the carry. Stopped right around the line of scrimmage. It's going to make it 3rd down and 5, so the first time we'll see Starmount in a 3rd down situation and see how Ashe County responds.
And good job there by Ashe keeping contained on the outside. I know I saw Brandon Blevins and Zach Uten out there. Good job keeping containment, not letting that run get to the sideline and down the field.
3rd down and 5. Just over 3 minutes to go in this first period. Tie ball game at 7 apiece. Here comes the handoff up the middle. He's got the first down and then more and takes it all the way into Husky territory, does big fullback number 17, Sawyer Davis. My goodness, already powerful running being displayed by this Ram offense, showing no signs of stopping here early on as they pick up yet another first down and keep this drive alive now, as we said, into Husky territory on the Ashe County 49-yard line. Man in motion, see a lot of movement, as we said, pre-snap with this offense, and Davis gets the carry yet again and just lowers his shoulder and bangs it right up the middle and picks up about 5 yards.
And something else with this offense makes it tricky. You see a lot of movement during the play as well. You'll see some misdirection, some fakes and whatnot. And, all you need is a couple of defensive players to bite on one of those fakes, leave a hole for the ball carrier to get through. And, you're going to be tackling from behind.
I'm talking with some people before the game. This is one of those offenses where they just snap the ball and Freed pretty much has freedom to run it whichever way he sees fit. And here's an end around, and that's going to go to the big man, number 25, Ken Kelly, trying to find some room here to the right side. But again, nice job by the Huskies limiting that run only about a yard. So quickly, Ashe forcing another third down situation, identical to the last time. Third down, 5 yards to go. This time, Ashe County hoping to step up and make the stop and prevent Starmount from keeping this drive alive. Ware and Ashe County down once again. Another long drive. Here's Kelly off the right side again, and man, that time he had a big hole to work with.
Big, strong run there by Kelly. Ashe defensive line getting picked apart right there. Second straight third down conversion for the Rams.
So parting the waters and providing plenty of room for the big man to work all the way down just outside the 30-yard line. Starmount piecing together a very nice drive. This time the handoff going to go to Bryant, looking at left side. No, excuse me, Nate. That even tricks me that time. Spotted down at the 22-yard line. I believe Freed just hung onto that one himself. That's going to make it 2nd down and 2. Rain just continuing to fall, shows no signs of letting up here tonight. You might think that could play a factor in this ball game against Ashe County. We know they're used to playing in it against High Brighton and then against West Wilkes. But this is a little different team, a little different set that you'll be looking at. There's a handoff to Davis. He is met immediately by Baker making the first contact, and finally wrapped up by a trio of Husky defenders.
Yeah, look like Sean and Jason Baker in there, as well as Alex Richardson. Good job bringing the fullback down.
Unfortunately for Ashe, as you said, limited him to just a couple. That's all he needed. And that's going to move the chains yet again for this Starmount offense as they keep the drive alive. Under a minute to go in this first period. Tied up at 7 is where we stand right now. Starmount driving on the Ashe 20-yard line right now into red zone territory. There's a handoff to Davis up the gut, and he just powers his way. Man, he's just able to plow down the middle and pick up anything he wants right now.
Yeah, strong fullback dive right there. Nice to see the Ashe players trying to rip that ball loose, though. Once you get him slowed down, try to get that strip, get a turnover there.
And the clock's going to hit zeros through 1. We're in for a battle here in Boonville, North Carolina on senior night at Starmount High School. Knotted up at 7 between the Huskies and the Rams after 1. Stay tuned in. We'll be back with more action on Friday Night Football here on Sky Zone HD Channel 1 right after this.
When it comes to insuring your home, business, automobiles, and property, you want an agency you can depend on. Miller Insurance has been serving this region for more than 60 years and are proud to now represent Everett Cash Mutual, which specializes in insuring farm property, equipment, livestock, and more. Before you renew your insurance policies, give us a call at 336-246-7151 or come see us in downtown West Jefferson. Miller Insurance is proud to be your hometown insurance agency that supports our hometown teams.
And welcome back into Starmount High School in Booneville, North Carolina for yet another edition of Friday Night Football on Sky Zone HD Channel 1. Tyler Ashe alongside Nathan Ham here at the press box at Starmount High School. Rainy night, not the best of conditions, but you couldn't ask for a better football matchup here between two of the top teams in the Mountain Valley Conference, the Ashe County Huskies and the Starmount Rams.
Yeah, probably two of the most even teams in the conference going at it tonight. And so far, the score's even, and can't really be too disappointed if you're a football fan. I don't think either side expected a blowout tonight, and I expect this game to be close throughout.
Both teams squared up, as you said, 7 apiece after one. Starmount is driving, though, looking to get back ahead in this ball game. Took the opening kickoff 90 yards. Only took him 7 seconds to get on the board. They look to keep that trend going. Freed this time going to keep it himself. Little to nothing to work with as we see the Baker boys combining to bring him down quickly. Sean and Jason Baker, two key leaders for this defensive unit, and I'll tell you what, they've really helped fill the gap left by Evan Walker, Cullen Ashley, and Matthew Hamilton, just to name a few off of last year's defensive unit.
They have, and also gotten a lot of support from some underclassmen as well. But as you said, those guys really the team leaders this year, firing the defense up on the sideline, firing the offense up as well.
Let's make it third down and a short one. Looking to pick it up, and he does. Freed working his way off that right tackle. And that's going to be enough to keep this drive alive. Moves it all the way down inside the 5. That's going to set up first down and goal for the Rams. Tyler Ashe alongside Nathan Ham here on Sky Zone HD Game of the Week, brought to you by Miller Insurance in downtown West Jefferson. Be sure to check out Miller Insurance for all of your insurance needs. Ball actually spotted at the 5-yard line after that. Nice run by Freed, picking up the first, makes it first down and goal. He'll take the snap, hands it off this time, and working his way to the end zone, and in is John Johnson. There is the official signal, touchdown Rams.
And big play there by Starmount. Don't blame them for going to that left side there. When you've got a left tackle that measures in at 6'2", 320 pounds, you might as well run behind him every play you can.
Yeah, but Lale Moss, as you said, able to create a lot of room. We talk about it this season. Ashe County really, against almost every team they've faced, has the size advantage, but the Starmount matches up pretty well with them up front tonight. Gunnell on to kick the extra point. Kick is up and right down Broadway. 14-7 now is where we stand as Starmount has forged ahead once again. How about that drive, Nate? 13 plays and 80 yards.
Exactly what they want to do. Take some time off the clock, move the ball, and punch it into the end zone. As you said, Allegheny had that formula against us earlier in the season. But Starmount has much better athletes, much better quality talent out there. It's a little bit easier for them to be able to pull that off against us than it was for Allegheny.
Yeah, as you talked about, those Allegheny drives fell a bit short of the end zone. Of course, that doesn't discount the great play by the Husky defensive unit, especially you think about a key play in that ball game and really shows what the Huskies are made of this season was when Allegheny had first and goal right before the half, and Ashe made a huge stop, forced a turnover on downs.
Yeah, big statement in that game, and Ashe came out in the second half and really poured it on the Trojans. They really had no answer after that, and hopefully we can get a stop like that tonight, maybe a big defensive play by Ashe, take advantage of that, turn the momentum, get right back in this ball game.
So at the 10:56 mark, Huskies trailing again. They've yet to lead in this one. Starmount took off quickly from the gates in this one. Opening kickoff return for 90 yards by John Johnson, and he punches it in the end zone again. Already 2 TDs for that young man, senior running back. And not the start that Ashe County was thinking they might get or hoping for, as this kick will go into the end zone for a touchback by Gunnell. Ellis just watches this one roll on by. The Husky offense will come onto the field once again. Had a short field to work with last time they had the possession. Just took them 2 plays from 9 yards out to get the score. This time they're going to have to work with a long field, starting from their own 20-yard line. Connor Bowers looks to get this offense straightened out. As we said there, the quick start. Last year, Ashe did get off to a quick start against this team, led 13-0 after the first quarter, but that would be all the Huskies could manage in that ball game, as we see this pass caught by Mason McNeil just across the 25-yard line. Starmount, we know year in and year out, Nate, they're consistently the team that you have to beat to get this conference title. This year, no different, and last year played spoiler for the Ashe County Huskies, looking to do the same again here tonight.
They did, and unfortunately, things a little bit different tonight. Starmount with an early lead, but maybe Ashe can do what Starmount did last year. They can come back, get the comeback victory tonight.
Bowers, pressure and slung to the ground. There's Hoosier making a big-time play. One of 3 Ram defenders who got in there and disrupted that offensive sequence.
Strong play from the defensive line once again. Starmount getting some great penetration now, not only from the outside, but also getting it from the inside as well.
Hoosier definitely a guy to watch and proving why in this ball game early on. Already a pair of sacks, I believe. Now it's going to force Ashe County into a 3rd and 13 situation, going 4 wide, trips to the left side. Bowers stepping up. He's going to try to pick it up on the ground right near that first down mark. And I believe he's going to get it, Nate.
Quarterback keeps the ball, goes to the 31.
Just across the 30-yard line. That's going to be enough to move those chains. So
First down.
the senior QB proving he can be mobile as well as he did earlier in this ball game, and we've seen it more in recent weeks, picking up the first down on his own. Nobody open downfield. He just tucks and runs himself.
Smart decision there to be willing to pick up that first down with his feet. Don't force a throw. If the running lane's there, take it and get the first down. Keep the drive alive.
This time going to the ground game again. Bowers hands it off, however. This play stopped dead in the water. Barnes that time on the carry. He's not used to seeing that, Nate. Recent weeks we've seen him reach the end zone, 3 or 4 games in a row. And he's played a big role in the Huskies continuing to keep things rolling offensively in the ever-improving ground attack.
Yeah, Barnes has had pretty good success on the ground, as you said, the last few games. But so far, the Ashe offensive line not really having an answer for Starmount up front. But, you know, this is early in the game. Things can change pretty quick.
Officially, that one's tallied as a loss of 1, brings up 2nd down and 11. Twin receivers to the left and right. Barnes joining Bowers in the backfield, in motion. Check down throw to Calhoun. He's caught across the 30, the 35, the 40, and horse collar tackle by Sawyer Davis. Dangerous tackle, and you can't get away with that, especially on the outside edge in front of the officials.
Yeah, that's become a penalty at all levels of football. Started out just being in the professional circuits, but right there, horse collar tackle, and good job by the officials seeing that.
I don't believe there's any ill will with that tackle. Davis just trying to reach out and grab Calhoun. Got him by the back of the shirt collar. Wrestled him down. So not only did Ashe County pick up some good yardage through the air, they'll also get an additional 15 via the penalty. That's going to move it well into Ram territory now. Marked at the 43-yard line. The Starmount fans, they're not too happy with that call, though, Nate, although it was a good one.
Yeah, not happy at all, but if there's ever been a picture of a textbook horse collar tackle, that would have been it.
Huskies looking pretty solid on this drive. Bowers dropping back, delivers a bullet to the near side. Going up and making the catch, sophomore Colin Ellis. Unable to secure his first pass at target earlier in this ball game and was frustrated afterward, but he made up for it on that one big time, Nate.
He did. Big catch right there. Puts Ashe deeper into Starmount territory here inside the 35.
Just shy of a first down. It'll be 2nd down and 1. Needing to get to that 33, ball on the 34. Bowers in the gun. Trips to the left. Going to the near side, though. That one-on-one matchup is McNeil. And then forced out of bounds with authority by number 21, Trey Lomax. That's going to be enough to move the chains. Great job by McNeil, though, hanging on to that ball. Lomax delivered a big blow to him.
He did. McNeil withstood a big hit there. We've seen him have a couple of fumbles and a couple drop issues earlier in the season, but right there takes a big hit, hangs on to that, and gives the Huskies a much-needed first down.
Huskies looking to respond again, trailing 14-7, just inside the 8-minute mark here in the second quarter. Unaccustomed to being behind on that scoreboard this season. Bowers going to drop back. He's looking on that left side, going to the end zone. Pass is caught. My goodness, going up and making another big catch is Colin Ellis.
Good coverage right there, but Ellis goes up, pulls that one down, and Ashe will have a 1st and goal.
Huskies are in business. This drive, they've been sharp. This is that offensive unit we've been used to seeing all season long. And they just keep rolling right along now. 1st and goal, ball just inside the 5, marked at the 4-yard line. Huskies in prime position to tie this ball game up. 4-wide set, Bowers airing all the way, looking to the near side, picked off, and bringing it back upfield across the 10-yard line, and still on his feet before being drugged down by Worley is number 21, Trey Lomax. Just delivered a big hit a few moments ago to Mason McNeil and comes up with a big-time interception, a touchdown-saving pick in the end zone.
Red zone turnovers will absolutely kill a football team, and right there, Ashe had a chance to go in, tie this game up, but the interception puts this Starmount rushing attack right back on the field. Ashe really needs their defense to step up and force a punt now that Starmount's deeper in their own territory.
So you can't fault Bowers too much with the season he's had, but right there, really no room to throw that one. 2 men in between his man and the ball, and really tried to force one in and deliver the perfect pass, unable to do so, and that's going to be a turnover. Boy, what a strong run that time. Stiff arm is an understatement, I believe, on that one.
5'10" King Kelly there just absolutely lays a shoulder into an Ashe defensive back. Couldn't quite tell who that was out there, but a powerful run there. Exactly what Starmount's been doing all night long, just running it to the outside, right up the middle, not afraid to lower a shoulder, get some extra yards.
Yeah, 190-pound, 5'10" Ken, we'll call him. Showing off his strength on the near side. Big-time gain, 1st and 10 now. Johnson spinning around, reversing fields, and he's not going anywhere. Richardson steps up and makes a big play in the backfield.
Great job there getting a tackle for a loss. That's the second time they've been able to hem Johnson in there, but we saw his speed and acceleration there on the kick return earlier in the game. But second time carrying out of the backfield, Ashe has done a great job keeping him in check.
So they'll call that one a loss of 4, makes it 2nd down and 14. Under 7 minutes to go in this first half. Starmount leading 14-7 against this Ashe County team, looking to keep it perfect on the season. This time, Freed keeps it himself, slips a bit. We'll credit these sloppy field conditions with the tackle on that one. Gain of just a couple. 1, actually, they'll call it. So that brings up 3rd down and 13 for Starmount. Ashe County hasn't been able to put them in these type of situations so far, but they always pin their ears back and go for the football in these situations.
They do, and that's exactly what you want as an Ashe County defense. A team that runs the football a lot, having a 3rd and long, the odds are definitely in your favor.
This time Bryant getting the handoff to the right side. 1st down and more, unable to bring him down. They finally do, but not before a big-time gain. And that was number 13 for Ashe County. Zach Ooten finally bringing him down, but I tell you what, Bryant, he's just a man on a mission out of that backfield.
Yeah, he's not the first Bryant we've seen from Starmount absolutely have his way with us. You might remember MJ Bryant, even bigger than this kid, just absolutely had his way from the fullback spot. And right there, a 3rd and 13. Starmount, no big deal to them, just hand it off to their leading rusher, just move out of the way.
Good news for the Huskies. Bryant is a senior, as are many of these ball carriers. So won't have to deal with him anymore, but you've still got to stop him tonight. Huskies haven't done it so far, and now ball marked at midfield, 1st and 10, handoff going to the near side. Working his way down there, and a little extracurricular activity there, I believe. Prescott unhappy with the Husky defender bringing him down, a little late shove. Bit of a stiff arm there after the play. Picks up about 5-6 yards. Bring up 2nd down and 5. And it just seems every time Starmount runs the ball, they're at least getting 3, 4, 5 yards on every play from scrimmage. Disrupting this Husky defense. Even though you know they're going to run the ball, you never know which way it's coming at you from this old school set. As we see Freed that time on the option, keeps it himself. Stumbles ahead, picks up a pair. That's going to bring up 3rd down. We'll call it about 1 yard to go, a long one to get the first. Needing to get it down to about the 40-yard line. And they're actually going to measure this one. I thought it was kind of clear he was a little short. We'll get an official timeout as the chain gang makes their way across the field to get a measure just to make sure. Either going to make it 3rd down and 1 or 1st and 10 for Starmount. You know, if you're the Huskies, you like to force them again into 3rd down situation. And that one is going to be just a little bit short. Of course, we saw Starmount successful on 3rd and 13 just a few short plays ago. Convert with a big-time run by Bryant. You know, Ashe would like to get a second shot at that defensive play.
Third and very short here. This one going to be tough for the Ashe defense to stop this one, the way Starmount's been running the football tonight. But you know what? They play the games for a reason. It's not played on paper. Usually 3rd and a couple inches is always going to favor the offense, but never know. Ashe might have something for them right here.
As you said, never discount this Husky defense. 3rd and 1. Key play early on in this ball game. Handoff goes over to the right side to Davis. Only needed about 6 inches maybe. He got a couple of yards, so that will keep the drive alive once again, move those chains, and Starmount piecing together another quality drive early on in this ball game.
Starmount offensive coaches have to be really pleased with how this wing T offense is attacking the Ashe defense, being able to move yardage up the middle and to the edges at times, exactly what they like to see.
Coach Scott Johnson always has his team ready to go as we see the handoff to Johnson in the near side. Going to be forced out of bounds by Uten, but not before he's going to pick up a big chunk of yardage on that play off to the left side. So we talk about the success of Starmount this season. Their only blemish in conference play, of course, did come in the opening contest against Elkin. That was actually a bit of a shock, 26-0 defeat they suffered, but still very much in play for this conference title in this season.
They are at Elkin. Turns out that game wasn't really as much of an upset as people thought, as they're still undefeated as well, 5-0 on the conference season. Of course, that's who Ashe will close the regular season with next week.
Freed on the option keeps it himself, pushed first, I believe, by Richardson. And then he's finally going to be brought down, I believe, by Bradley Lucas, making a nice play for the Huskies. Limits him to just a gain of a pair. Ball spotted down at the 25-yard line. But it will be 2nd down and 8. Time winding down in the second period, under 4 minutes to play. Starmount on top and in control right now, 14-7. Right where they want to be, dominating the time of possession and yards gained in this ball game. Bryant this time going to be bottled up quickly. Nothing doing there that time for the senior tailback. Maybe gets a yard as he gets inside the 25. And that's going to bring up another 3rd down situation for Starmount, successful on every other opportunity on this drive.
Yeah, another 3rd and medium to long here for the Rams. Ashe really needs to buckle that defense down and get a stop on this one.
Normally you'd love it if you've got teams into 3rd, 13, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7 situations, but Starmount, they're sort of licking their chops, I believe. They're converting with ease on these 3rd down situations here. This time not going to happen, though, and making a nice play. We see Baker stepping up from his linebacker position.
Sean Baker reads that play perfectly, slides right down the line, busts through and makes the tackle. We'll force a 4th down here.
So finally, Ashe able to get a stop on 3rd down. And it looks like Starmount's going to bring on that kicking unit, maybe to a bit of surprise here, Nate. That's a long field goal attempt, especially at the high school level.
That is a long field goal attempt, sloppy field conditions as well. But we've seen some long field goals from other teams this year.
Gunnell, we'll see how good his leg is. And snap the hold to kick. However, there is a flag on the field. He was nowhere near the mark on that kick either, Nate.
Yeah, unless this was against the Huskies, they might want to rethink this if they're Starmount. That was well wide right and well short.
And it's going to be a false start, much to the chagrin of this home crowd. So that's going to back them up 5 yards. Of course, Ashe will certainly accept this. So I'll move it back to the 31-yard line where it will still be 4th down and long. Make it 4th down and about 13.
Yeah, Starmount fans shouldn't be too unhappy with that penalty. That field goal was not anywhere close. Ashe would have got some pretty solid field position out of that miss. Right here, we'll see if they decide to go for it or if they want to punt here. Either way, it's better than giving Ashe the ball near the 40-yard line.
If you're Coach Johnson, what are you doing here, Nate?
Well, they've had success running the football and haven't had any success passing, so we'll see what they do.
They actually go to the air, looking on the near side, just out of the hands of the intended receiver, Johnson, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. So the Huskies catch a break and force the turnover on downs here at the 2-minute mark in the second period.
Perfect pass there by Freed. Should have been pulled in and would have been a touchdown right there. Johnson got wide open down the sideline. But thankfully for the Huskies, with maybe these sloppy field conditions and a team not used to catching a football, that one falls incomplete.
Yeah, coming into this one, just 11 pass completions, only 32 attempts, though, on the season. So we know these guys like to run it out of that wing T set. Here's a quick throw the other direction from Bowers out to Colin Ellis. And he's really been targeting him. He seems like he's gone in spurts of targeting specific receivers. Worley with a pair of early catches, and really ever since then he's been looking Ellis's way.
He has, and Ellis has been one of the more sure-handed receivers we've had this year, and especially on these underneath routes. He's been able to secure the ball and pick up yards after the catch.
So 1:52 on the clock. 2nd and 7 situation. This Husky offense face. Now showing 5 wide and airing it out. Pass in and out of the hands, a little too high for Carter Calhoun. He can't find the handle.
Calhoun gave a lot of effort on that, but the ball sailed just a little bit on our senior quarterback. Would like to have seen him pick that play up right there. Been close to midfield with under 2 minutes left here in the half. Right there, the ball just got away a little bit from Connor.
Got to try to rein that one in if you're Bowers. Had your man wide open, but it's going to be 3rd down and 7 after the incompletion. Now in trouble once again. He's not going to get away this time. Sawyer Davis getting to Bowers, and yet another sack. And we're not used to seeing that, Nate.
Yeah, the Husky offensive line, since at least the first couple of games, has really been able to keep Connor Bowers upright, keep him protected. But right here tonight, the defensive linemen for the Rams really having their way with our offensive line. Not only getting pressure off the edges up the middle, but the few times we've ran the ball, just absolutely nothing there.
So now Starmount going to take their first timeout in this first half. Try to get this clock stopped and potentially get their offense back on the field with plenty of time to work. 1:38 left in this second period. And another exciting edition of Friday Night Football on senior night from Starmount High School in Booneville, North Carolina. The undefeated Huskies putting their perfect record on the line, and perfect conference record, of course, at 5-0 on the season, 8-0 overall. Starmount struggled a bit out of conference, but they always play a very difficult slate. And here the punting unit comes on for Ashe. A nice punt this time from McNeil. That's going to bounce around the 40. It's going to be fielded, however. Johnson on that right side, still on his feet, refusing to go down, evading tacklers left and right. And what a big-time return right there. Nate takes it back into Ashe County territory.
That's the second time we've seen Johnson with a big special teams return there. Ashe has done a good job with him as a running back, but fielding punts and kicks so far, the special teams, really no answer for him.
Yeah, in the open field, he is a monster. We do have a flag on the field, thrown late, however. And it looks like that's going to be against Ashe County, Nate, and if that is the case, already good field position becomes great. That unsportsmanlike conduct again. We've already seen that thrown once or twice here tonight. Making some noise here are these Starmount fans. Getting loud on senior night. They're not letting this weather rain on their parade so far at Starmount High School on senior night. And that penalty does go against the Ashe County Huskies in the way of unsportsmanlike conduct, so mark it now. Was on the 36, now all the way down at about the 21-yard line, just outside the red zone. And the way they've been running the ball, Starmount looks to be in good shape here with this short field.
They are. They've got plenty of time to work here on the clock. Fully expect them to stick with that ground game.
This time the run to the near side. Still on his feet. He's reaching ahead for that end zone. Not going to be stopped, or excuse me, is going to be stopped before he gets in, but not before he gets down inside about the 5-yard line. And that was Trey Lomax stepping up that time. And we've seen him on defense already with a pick and a big hit. Now he does it on the offensive side.
Starmount just has a plethora of offensive weapons. Just keep putting them in the backfield, putting them in motion. Ashe defense really struggling with this wing T option.
We talked about it earlier, another instance of letting your best players play both ways. This time the handoff goes to Davis, fighting ahead, the big fullback. He's getting in on the scoring action and punches it in for 6 more for the Rams. When it rains, it pours here at Booneville, North Carolina. Now Starmount up by 2 touchdowns. Their biggest lead of the ball game, pending the extra point, right now stands at 20-7.
And if there's one little bright note of sunshine here for the Huskies, they will get the ball after halftime. Hopefully be able to chip into this Starmount lead.
Gunnell on to kick this one away, under a minute to go for the extra point. Snap, the hold, the kick is up and good once again, 21-7. It's easy when you have a short field to work with. And, of course, the Rams capitalize. You hear the bell ringing, another score. Just takes them 2 plays, 22 yards. You don't see them score that often much, but, boy, right there, able to cap it off with a 4-yard plunge by the big fullback Sawyer Davis.
Yeah, as we've said, not really the quick strike offense the Huskies have, but when they've been given a short field tonight, they've been able to punch it in pretty quickly. But that was a tough break there for Ashe with the penalty and the good return. Rams just did not have far to go to put that rushing attack into the end zone.
Still going to have 55 seconds and all 3 timeouts while the Huskies talk about quick strike offense. Nate will see if they can somehow work some magic here before they head to the half. Gunnell on to kick this one away. Fresh off another Starmount touchdown, which he was able to cap off with the PAT. Huskies back deep to return. Gunnell puts his big toe into this one. Will bounce, and Ellis didn't want any part of that. Just lets it roll into the end zone for a touchback. Maybe not a bad decision there. Can serve as much time as possible with under a minute to go.
Yeah, when you've got an offense like the Huskies have, they can score quickly. Don't blame him for not really picking that ball up right there, especially after it bounced. Could have been wet, could have fumbled it around a little bit. Don't want to give Starmount another short field.
55 ticks before they head to the locker rooms. Ashe in an unfamiliar situation, trailing 21-7 to the Starmount Rams, but a chance here to put a dent into that lead, as you mentioned too. That makes you feel good when you get the ball coming out of the half. 4 wide set for Bowers, leading this offense again off of play action. Looking to the near side, pass is caught by Colin Ellis. Stretching ahead. And that's going to be a first down for the Huskies. He's out across the 30, but a bad sign there. You don't want to see this if you're a Husky fan. Ellis a little shaken up on that play.
A little shaken up there. Definitely don't want to see that at all. So far, our leading receiver tonight. Hopefully, maybe just got the wind knocked out of him a little bit, falling down there. Trainers come out here and check on our sophomore receiver.
So as they tend to Ellis on the field, we'll take a quick check again of the up-to-date 2014 Mountain Valley Athletic Conference standings. Of course, Ashe right there at the top with Elkin, Starmount chasing, nipping at their heels, and right now in the lead here, 21-7. Allegheny, they're in for a big-time test here tonight. They're in action right now against Elkin in one of the other highly competitive matchups in the conference tonight.
And last check, Allegheny was actually ahead of Elkin, so we'll see if that score holds. That could really throw a big wrench into the conference standings, especially if Starmount can hold on tonight too. Maybe have 3 teams with 1 loss going into the final week. Could be really interesting. And the one good thing for Ashe, they've certainly locked up the top 2A seed from the conference, as Wilkes Central 2 and 3, the other top 2A seed in the conference. No chance of surpassing the Huskies there.
They are in a battle tonight against rival East Wilkes, and then also North Wilkes and West Wilkes. One of those teams will certainly get their first victory in conference play. After the timeout for the injury, 35 seconds, clock is ticking to Ellis. We see 4 wide set, airing it out deep down the left side. Passes up and in and out of the hands of the intended target, Mason McNeil. That was a difficult catch with the defense, but these rainy conditions don't help either.
Yeah, McNeil went up strong, went up high there, tried to pull that one in. Just could not do it there between the coverage and maybe got a little rain in his eyes. You never really know what happened there, but got his hands on it, just couldn't secure the grab.
And if you're a Husky fan, you're certainly hoping for the best for Colin Ellis, regardless of which team you're pulling for. Certainly don't want to see injuries here tonight. Huskies going with 4 wide again, as we see Owen taking Ellis's place. Trips to the left. McNeil with the one-on-one matchup to the right. He's going to the left side. Pass is caught. Did he hang on to it? Yes, despite taking a hit. And, boy, Carter Calhoun, he may be the smallest guy on the field, but he makes big-time plays.
Yeah, took a big hit there. We've got the ball right at midfield here, but less than 30 seconds left. We'll see if we can pick up the rest of these yards.
And quickly choosing to take a timeout is head coach Brian Hampton, even though the clock will be stopped after the pickup of the first down. While they move the chains, 16 seconds on the clock. Huskies going to burn their first timeout. Still have 2 remaining. Ball will be near midfield. Nate, if you're head coach Brian Hampton, what are you drawing up here with 16 ticks left and still 2 timeouts to play with?
Well, you can still use the middle of the field. Got 2 timeouts left. Don't necessarily have to focus on the sidelines. You would at least like to get maybe a field goal out of this. We've got Kendall Richardson back tonight. Have to get it pretty close downfield with probably the soggy field conditions we have. But just stick to what you've been doing. Just look for the wide open guys. Connor needs to make smart throws. We may be able to get some points here in the last few seconds of the half.
I think this is certainly a situation where you definitely miss a guy like Jacob Levins with his speed.
Absolutely. A guy that can run straight downfield and get open and make a big play.
We do see Ellis already back into the game, so good to see that. As Bauer's going to be flushed from the pocket, and another sack, and look at that, number 2 for Bryant, making a huge statement on defense and offense here tonight. Already his 3rd sack in the ball game.
Yeah, right now it's just Trey Bryant's world, and we're just living in it right now. He's just having his way with the Ashe offensive line.
Brian Hampton, he's pleading with the referee that he got that timeout a little bit quicker. Finally, it is granted the TO. They only have 7 seconds left on the game clock as he's forced to burn his 2nd timeout, and especially after a timeout, not the play and results you want to see if you're Ashe County.
Yeah, tough play there. That may really put a hurting on any chance we had of getting some points here at the end of the half, but Coach Hampton not giving up just yet, still going to take this timeout, see if he can draw something up.
7 seconds, still 1 timeout. Nate, is this a time where you just quickly turn and fire, try to gain, maybe another 5-10 yards and maybe potentially set up a big play downfield, or maybe a field goal, or you just heave it deep right here, try for 2 tries at the end zone?
With another timeout left, you can probably get a little bit closer before you try the old Hail Mary pass, but, at the high school level, it might be tough to expect a kid to do that in this short a time. We'll see what Hampton told his offense.
So after that sack, makes it 2nd down and 13, back on the Huskies side of the field at the 47. Bowers turns, fires it out to the near side. Calhoun, how about the hook and lateral? Another pitch by McNeil, but this one is intercepted. They'll classify that, as a fumble. And taking that one away was number 22, Brandon Lopez. kind of like the idea there, but not the best of execution by the Huskies.
Yeah, I do like the idea. That could have really caught Starmount napping right there, but that second pitch was just maybe a little bit too much. Maybe catch it and then one pitch and hope for the best, but Starmount kind of figured out what was going on.
So the Huskies unable to work the trick play magic, and they're going to be trailing. Boy, when was the last time they trailed at half, Nate? I guess in that High-Brighton game that was called at half when they were trailing 28-22, but I don't think we've seen the Huskies down by 2 scores since that High-Brighton game. That's the only time this season.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Starmount giving us a big-time battle tonight. I think a lot of people expected that. I don't know if people expected them to be ahead like this, but we'll see what's in store coming up in the second half.
So we stand at 21-7. Starmount with the advantage at halftime. Ashe will have the ball to start off the second half. We're going to take a break for the halftime ceremonies on a rainy night here in Booneville, North Carolina. Stay tuned in for what is sure to be an exciting second half of football here on Sky Zone HD Channel 1. Ashe County at Starmount on the Sky Zone HD Game of the Week. Second half action coming your way right after this.
When it comes to insuring your home, business, automobiles, and property, you want an agency you can depend on. Miller Insurance has been serving this region for more than 60 years and are proud to now represent Everett Cash Mutual, which specializes in insuring farm property, equipment, livestock, and more. Before you renew your insurance policies, give us a call at 336-246-7151 or come see us in downtown West Jefferson. Miller Insurance is proud to be your hometown insurance agency that supports our hometown teams.
Good evening and welcome back into Starmount High School in Booneville, North Carolina. So we get ready to crank up the second half of our Sky Zone HD Game of the Week on Football Friday night here on Sky Zone HD Channel 1. Tyler Ashe alongside Nathan Ham in a battle in the Mountain Valley Athletic Conference, 2 of the top 3 teams. And Nate, so far, it's been all Starmount in this first half.
It has. The Rams and their coaching staff really have to be pleased with the way this game's going. Been able to move the ball, been able to keep the Ashe offense off the field. And when the Huskies have gotten the ball, their defense has done its part, kept that passing attack limited quite a bit.
And if you're Coach Brian Hampton, what are you going to be preaching to your team, or what do you think he was preaching to the Husky squad at halftime?
Definitely preaching to both lines on defense and offense. Step it up. I mean, this is the first time that we've really seen a rushing attack really have their way with us, and that Ram pass rush is really giving Connor fits all night long.
We'll see what kind of adjustments are made here in the second half as we are underway with third quarter action. Ashe County deferred to the second half, and this is why, so they could get that offense rolling to start the second half. Not a bad return as he tried to reverse fields. Cutting it across was Colin Ellis. He's really done a little bit of everything for Ashe County tonight, taking it out across the 25. Stopped about the 28-yard line. So not a bad starting position here for this Ashe County offense as they look to straighten things out, trailing 21-7 as we see this offensive unit come onto the field. So far, Ashe County perfect on the season, as we talked about, coming into this one at 8-0, and we forgot to mention it there in the first half, Nate, ranked 8th in the state in the AP poll in 2A ball.
Yeah, that's a big-time accomplishment there for the Huskies, and you know that first time getting ranked, they don't want to fall out that quickly.
And almost intercepted. Some miscommunication that time. 2 men in the area, Calhoun and Worley. Bowers threw it, or I guess he thought one of those two was going to be. Some miscommunication there results in, luckily for them, just an incomplete pass. Could have been picked.
Yeah, Huskies got away with that one there. Lucky break. Hopefully we get a few more of those here in the second half. Maybe get some passes go our way, or maybe get the defense to force some fumbles for the Rams. But nonetheless, Ashe really needs to make a statement on their opening drive at the half.
Bowers letting it fly again to the near side. This time, no problem hanging on to that one is Worley. Nice catch, and then a nice tackle as well. The open field by Zach Freed, another one of these guys for Starmount, playing both ways, as he is both your quarterback and corner on this team.
Yeah, and the roster we were given looks like Starmount's got 34 players. So, if you want to be competitive, sometimes when you don't have that many kids, you just have to send them out there, play them both ways, and hope they're in really terrific shape and don't wear down as the game goes on.
That's the advantage Ashe tries to get over every team, having 2 platoons out there, offensive and defense. And this one stepping in front, swatting that one to the ground. Not in my house, playing Dikembe Mutombo, Ken Kelly. Haven't called his name a lot on defense, but proven he can do it on that side of the ball as well.
And nice defensive stop for the Rams, exactly what they wanted to do. Force Ashe into a quick punt here, get the ball back, and they're going to try to eat away at the clock like they've been doing all evening so far.
And exactly the opposite of what you're wanting if you're Ashe County. Forced into a quick 3-and-out situation. We see Mason McNeil on to punt for the Huskies. Starmount, going to pin their ears back. No, they're just going to step back to bring back a return. Now mishandling the return and downed immediately by Owen. It's Josh Johnson. Nice break there for the Ashe County Huskies.
It was always good to see a quick athlete like that have to have a little bit of trouble dealing with the football there. Ashe doesn't have to stress out as much, worry about having to bring him down.
And it looks like he's also going to be dealing with a leg injury a little bit. Tweaked a little something there to Johnson. Got to hope he's all right. Starmount will have the ball on their own 22-yard line after forcing a quick 3-and-out to begin this second half. Leading right now 21-7 here on the Sky Zone HD Game of the Week, brought to you, as always, by Miller Insurance, proud sponsor of the Husky football team this year, 2014 edition. Glad to have them back on board. Be sure to see Miller Insurance for all your insurance needs. And the Huskies right now need to find an answer for this Starmount rushing attempt.
They do. Right there might be a nice little start to it. Bradley Lucas gets in there and lays a big hit on the fullback. Hopefully that'll fire up the Ashe defense a little bit here. 2nd and 6 for the Rams.
Rainy conditions didn't really affect the turnout here tonight. Both sides of the bleachers filled up pretty well. Of course, it is a pretty good trip down here, an hour and a half or so from Ashe County to Starmount. But the Husky crowd supporting this undefeated team. And there's Kelly making his way out across the 50, taking it deep into Husky territory now. They're going to say, though, he was knocked out just inside the 45-yard line. Mark him at the Ashe County 44.
Kelly gets way downfield and still would not go down. Had Kenny Reed there trying to pull him down. Just had to blow the whistle there. Looked like he stepped out of bounds either way. Big run there yet again for the Rams.
Already putting together a very nice drive of the Rams. They've got into Husky territory at the 44. Looking to put an end to this perfect season so far for the Ashe County Huskies. As we mentioned, they're 8-0, ranked 8th in the state, the highest ever by an Ashe County squad, and the best start in school history. Starmount looking to quickly put it into that. There's another strong run. Man, look at that burst right past out of the gates there by Prescott.
One of the few underclassmen running backs they do have. Unfortunately, Ashe will have to contend with him next year. But right there, nice little run up the middle down near the Ashe 35-yard line.
We talk about Starmount, always an ultra-competitive squad, and you might say starting off this season where they lost 2 out-of-conference games and then were beaten 26-0 by Elkin. Say, man, this may be a down year for Starmount football, but they always seem to rally around, and they put together a nice season regardless of the outcome of this game at 6-3 right now and just 4-1 in conference. And there we see Trey Bryant's name called again, and he answers with a gain of a couple. Nice job there by Ashe County closing in quickly. And not going to be stopped shy of that first down marker, however. They're going to say that's enough to move those chains yet again, so keep the drive alive. 1st and 10 now at the Ashe County 32-yard line. Starmount just working it down the field almost at will. Just this methodical pace, controlling the time clock to say the least. And there's Bryant again, now inside of the 30. Picks up about 3 or 4 on the first down carry. Makes it 2nd down and 6 for the Rams. We talked about these contrasting offensive styles so far, Nate. It's in the old school way getting the better of this new school offense.
It has. It's definitely been a running attack that's got the job done. And, there's a reason that teams still want to be able to run that football from every level, from high school all the way up to the pros. If obviously you remember the Super Bowl last year, it was a big-time rushing attack that absolutely cleaned the field with Peyton Manning and his passing offense.
Starmount certainly looking the better of the two teams so far in this one. Anything could happen, though. Plenty of time left, but here's another strong offensive play and takes it down inside the 20 and into red zone territory. Big, strong run that time, again, by Prescott.
Took 3 Husky tacklers there to bring him out. Looked like Uten, Tristan Jones, and Bradley Lucas there all had to put all the effort they could in to bring in ball carrier down.
Starmount, with the way they're able to have so many guys come at you, it's sort of reminiscent of the High Brighton team. The Panthers, the way they throw 4 or 5 guys at you, and the Rams able to do exactly that.
And that's how they want it to be every week. They want to have guys that come in there, all the misdirection, all the movement they've got. They want defenses guessing who's going to get the football.
And here's Johnson. Came out a little bit gimpy after the punt return, after he slipped a bit. Looks like he's going to be okay. He's certainly a great athlete, one of many on this Starmount squad as he gets the carry and picks up about 4. That gets it down to the 14-yard line of Ashe County, and we talk about it, that bend but don't break philosophy. Ashe County's going to have to really get into gear right here and not break on this defensive series.
Yeah, they've got to keep Starmount out of the end zone one way or another, whether it's force a turnover or a turnover on down, something like that. Hold them to a field goal attempt, something.
Yeah, Ashe is going to have to come up with an answer. Kelly with the ball, and there's a nice shoestring tackle on the outside. Brandon Blevins. Flags do fly, however, after the play. Man, we've seen a lot of late flags in this one tonight. I think these players get a little chippy out there tonight. They know what's at stake at this ball game.
Yeah, we've seen both teams lose their cool just a little bit. Not sure what the flag will be here. It will be a dead ball foul.
That one's going to go against Starmount. As you can hear from here on the home side, a couple of fans not too happy to say the least. So that's going to move them all the way back to the 30-yard line. Ashe County got a gift there, Nate.
They did. They really need to capitalize on this as well. Going to be a 3rd and extremely long here. The Rams may try a pass right here and may just try to run the football, pick up some yards. But the Ashe defense really can't afford to give up another big play.
3rd and 22 officially, needing to get it inside the 10-yard line. Freed looks like he's going to try to throw it on the run, and this one into traffic and incomplete, looking in the way of number 17, Sawyer Davis. And there's another late flag thrown on the field. My goodness, both these coaches, I think, need to pull their guys out to the side here and have a little chat with them. Well, this one's actually just going to be an ineligible receiver. I thought they were going to call another dead ball foul against one of these two squads. Let's see if Ashe County chooses to even accept this. No, they do not. They'll take the loss of downs with no gain on the play, so that's going to make it 4th down and 22. Ball at the 30-yard line. They're going to have to get it all the way down to the 8 if Starmount keeps this drive alive. In control right now, however, on the scoreboard, 21-7. Been really able to impose their will on the offensive side of the ball, and their defense has withstood this air raid attack. Freed going to air it out on his own. This time led his man just a bit too much, falls incomplete. Ashe County steps up there, Nate. There's that bend but don't break, and they force a turnover on downs.
Yeah, defensive stand they just had to have if they wanted to stay in this ball game. Would have been nearly impossible to come back from a 28-7 deficit against a Ram team that really just having their way running the football. But right there, they had a 3rd and very long, and it's difficult to run the ball in those situations.
So the Huskies come back onto the field, maybe with some renewed vigor. Maybe kind of the key plays they had against Allegheny, getting a big stop there against a squad knocking on the door of their own end zone. Bauer's going to drop back, fires it to the near side. Pass is reeled in by Worley. Looks like another horse collar tackle by Kelly, but it doesn't look like the ref's going to call this one.
Yeah, I guess the ref thinks right there it was just the jersey there and didn't necessarily get under the shoulder pads, but tough loss there, 5-yard loss on 1st down.
On the screen there, set up for the wideout Jacob Worley. No room to work. Kelly closed quickly, bringing him down. That shows you the strength there, Nate, able to wrestle him down with just one arm. And that's going to be a loss of 5 now. 2nd and 15 for Ashe County. Not the best of starts to that offensive possession after the great defensive stand, forcing a turnover on downs. Now on their own 25-yard line. Bowers in the gun. 4 wide. Looking deep. Finally fires it out. Passes in and out of the hands. Another one And we're not used to seeing this a lot. Bowers overthrows Carter Calhoun yet again.
Yeah, Bowers kind of struggling with his throws a little bit this evening. Thankfully, Starmount couldn't hang on to the interception there. Ashe going to need to convert on this 3rd and long.
We saw him at times struggle a bit last week against North Wilkes, but did straighten things out there at the end of the first half. Of course, he only got in one half of football as he had for about the last 3 weeks. Still able to throw a couple of touchdown passes and well over 200 yards. I believe he had 280 unofficially. And here we're going to have a stop on the field. Looks like an official timeout. Maybe an equipment malfunction issue for one of the players. The referees want to make sure everything's set. So 3rd down and 15. Huskies not in the situation they want to be in. The back's against the wall, trailing 21-7. Here's a deep pass downfield, and this one is going to fall incomplete. Great defense, double covering Mason McNeil.
Yeah, it looks like McNeil still got his hands on that ball there, but as you said, terrific coverage, tough to pull that one down, and Ashe will be forced to punt once again.
Brings up 4th down, as you said, in another obvious punting situation for the Huskies. And on the field, or kick the punt away is no, it's actually going to be Bradley Lucas. Not sure the reason here. Lucas going to be on to kick this one away, gets the snap, and this one is blocked. And the ball is going to be rolled down, and doesn't matter who recovers it, it's going to be Starmount football. And a costly mistake there for the Ashe County Special Teams unit.
Yeah, you got to hope Mason McNeil's okay. May have gotten injured on that drop pass there. Didn't see it. I hate to have to send an inexperienced punter out there, but that's what we had to do. And unfortunately, Starmount makes Ashe pay, blocks that punt, and it looks like the Huskies have a player down as well.
So bad situation goes to worse for the Huskies. So not only did they were forced into a punting situation on 4th and 15, punt gets blocked. The other team's got the ball around your own 20-yard line, and then you have an injured player on the field as well, and possibly a second on the sidelines. Not sure exactly what happened to Mason McNeil. We'll try to get some clarification for you there if we can. The reason he was not on to punt that one away, but an inexperienced kicker. Bradley Lucas good on the kicking game, but not used to coming in there and having to punt the ball away. And that may be a situation where he just did not have the preparation there, wasn't able to get it off in time. That one was swatted away. And Starmount looks to capitalize here. Hopefully the injured Husky on the field right now is okay, is the main concern for not only Ashe County fans, but just the fans at the game in general. Never like to see a player get hurt, especially between 2 great teams such as this.
Yeah, not sure what the deal's going to be right here, but hopefully, as you said, he'll be able to hopefully get up and walk off the field under his own power. You definitely don't want to see him have to bring out a stretcher or anything like that. Hopefully nothing too serious here.
And I believe that is number 40, and it is Caleb Sexton, senior, 6 foot, 230-pounder. Really a guy who's just out there on special teams mainly, but certainly hate to see him go down. Always a competitor. Coming in and making some big stops on the special teams squads for the Ashe County Huskies, providing some nice blocking up front. Looks like he's able to get up okay, and hopefully he'll be all right. Not sure exactly what kind of injury he has sustained, but it's good to see a player always get up on their own power and walk off the field.
Oh, definitely moving gingerly right there. But as you said, he's been a key contributor on special teams all year long.
So now, after the change of possession, after that timeout, injury timeout, Starmount blocked the punt. Now they have the ball. Great field position right here on the Ashe County 20-yard line, we'll call it. Working it here on the near side. Still on his feet, fighting forward and down inside the 10-yard line. And that's going to bring up a 1st and goal situation. Johnson on the carry, just refusing to go down. That's a relentless competitor out there if there ever was one.
Yeah, he's definitely one of their better athletes. We saw it on the return game. And here in the second half, been able to get a little bit of momentum going, running the football out of the backfield as well.
So that marks it down at the 8-yard line on the left hash mark. 1st down and goal for the Rams. You never like to call a game here, Nate, but if they go up by 3 touchdowns, it's going to be very difficult for the Ashe County Huskies to recover from that. As Sawyer Davis gets the carry, and the Huskies standing strong on that play. Hunter Scott, Jason Baker in on that, and make a nice stop. Gains about 2 or 3 right at the 5-yard line now. That's going to bring up 2nd down and goal. If you're Ashe County, what are you trying to do here, Nate? Coach Hampton, what are you yelling out to this defensive squad?
Well, you'd like to see the interior to the defensive line definitely get some penetration, and also for the guys on the outside, maintain your gaps, maintain your lanes, and don't let anything get by you.
This time the handoff going to the left side to Prescott, and he is in for another touchdown. Zach Uten just couldn't bring him down. Great play call there by Scott Johnson on this Starmount sideline, and that misdirection pays off once again.
Yeah, it's been all Rams tonight. Unfortunately, they've just really had their way with the Ashe County defense, something that, Husky fans and the team definitely not used to experiencing so far this season.
Gunnell on to kick this one. He's been 3 for 3 so far in extra points tonight, looking to make it 4 out of 4. To make it a full 3-touchdown lead. Bit of trouble on the snap, but the kick is true, and Starmount pouring it on now. Takes a commanding 3-touchdown lead, 28-7. After that blocked punt, great special teams play once again sets up another short field for the Rams to work with. 3 plays, just 20 yards to go, capped off by the 5-yard plunge by Brandon Prescott, the junior tailback, one of the multiple weapons that Starmount has on this offensive unit, and he pays off big dividends there as the junior gets in for 6 more.
Yeah, still plenty of time left for the Huskies. Just a 3-score game, and the way they can move the football, they can score quickly, but it's going to be up to that defense whether, they can stop that Rams rushing attack.
Exactly. You always like to feel that you're in any ball game with the way this offense can put up points. As you said there, the thing is, and so far it's been a difficult task to say the least tonight, can you stop that Starmount offense from just, even if they don't score, being able to at least milk 4 or 5 minutes off the clock if they put together, even move the ball 50, 60 yards in 8 or 9 plays.
Yeah, we'll see what Ashe can do here late in the 3rd quarter and still the whole 4th quarter left to go.
Gunnell boots this one off. This one will be fielded by Ellis around his own 5-yard line, trying to cut it to that left side, finding a seam up the middle, closes quickly, however. But all in all, not a bad return, gets it out across the 30-yard line. Ashe County will take over 1st and 10 on offense.
Kickoff is returned to about the 33. First down, Huskies.
So the Huskies in jeopardy of losing this perfect season. Going to have to come up with some points here on this drive. You got to feel that if they don't come up with something here, if they're forced in another quick 3-and-out situation, Starmount's really going to be in full control of this ball game.
Yeah, Ashe really needs to put one in the end zone on this drive. Really anything less than that, you got to think, as you said, Starmount may just be able to put it in cruise control the rest of the way with the way they're able to run the football.
No backs. Bowers rolling out, throw in here on the near side. Low pass intended for Worley. They're going to say it was incomplete, that it hit the turf before he was able to get his hands on it. And that's going to be 2nd down and 10. We've seen some trouble here from Bowers, overthrowing, underthrowing a few receivers here and there tonight. Unable to really get any type of sustained drive for this Ashe County squad. The one time they did score, they only had to go 9 yards to get it in 2 plays. They've not put together that typical Ashe County drive that you've seen. Even if it is just 1 or 2 plays, they can move it down 50, 60 yards at a time. No back set once again, 5 wide. Now looking to the left side is Bowers. This one up in the air, tipped and intercepted, and cutting it back upfield. We see number 32, Austin Holcomb, still refusing to go down. He's still on his feet inside the 5, and nobody's going to catch him. And another touchdown for Starmount. That may be the one that does it.
Yeah, that's probably a backbreaker there for Ashe. 34-7, big-time deficit here to overcome, and nothing to be too disappointed about, though. Starmount just absolutely playing a flawless game. We've seen very few negative plays and bad plays from the Rams.
Couple that with some unexpected miscues from this Ashe County offense. There's what you see, 34-7 on the scoreboard right now, as Gunnell is on yet again very quickly to attempt another PAT. Just a couple plays ago and just a few short seconds ago, he was attempting one. It capped off a nice Starmount drive, and as we see a flag, pre-snap penalty. That's going to be offsides against the Huskies. So they'll line up to re-kick this one. And they're looking to stay perfect on the night, try to make it 5 for 5 in extra points. PAT attempt forthcoming, low snap. He's not going to be able to get this one off. Going to try to make a run for it. Was the holder, and Freed loses the handle a bit there again, and the extra point attempt snuffed out by Ashe County, but regardless of that,
No extra point.
Nate, I tell you what, doesn't get much better than that on defense by Austin Holcomb, taking it back 52 yards for the touchdown on the pick six.
Yeah, they've been able to score on offense, defense, and special teams tonight. Just a really complete football game by the Rams. They're well coached, well disciplined every season. And, except for a couple of miscues tonight, Rams have played a terrific ball game.
As you said, nearly flawless execution on Starmount's behalf. Ashe County, a few unexpected miscues from them. We're not used to seeing that from this Husky squad. And it's come back to bite them now. You got to think about it, Nate. This could be a very different ball game were it not for a couple of miscues here tonight. You allow the opposing squad to return the opening kickoff for a touchdown, a blocked punt, set up a short field, and there we see pick six taking it back. I mean, those are 3 touchdowns, things that, if they go your way or even one of those don't go against you, this could be a completely different ball game. Instead, we're sitting at 34-7 as we see another return by Colin Ellis. He's been kind of a one-man show for Ashe County. He's finding some room on that far sideline, will eventually be forced out of bounds and brought to a halt on that return by Andrew Smithers. But I tell you what, Starmount just in really control right now in this ball game. Full control, I should say.
Yeah, and as you said, also to add to that list of kind of mistakes we made, don't forget we had a red zone turnover.
That's right.
And those are really tough to stomach, especially, in a game with this caliber of an opponent, really tough to deal with.
And there we see yet another flag, and that's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct again, a dead ball penalty against the Huskies. Just continue to shoot themselves in the foot. We've seen that all night long, really, from both of these squads, but I believe a few more of those have been thrown Ashe County's direction.
Yeah, lots of mental mistakes tonight, just kind of dumb penalties you don't want to see out there. I believe that's our second personal foul penalty on the night at least that I know of. Just those kinds of penalties are just the ones that are easily avoidable. Just kind of keep your cool out there. But so far, Ashe they've just had a rough night, unfortunately, for the visiting team.
And does get the ball handed off, but Bowers, he took a shot in the backfield. I believe that was number 55, Garrett Stokes, laying down the law and then eventually being able to chase down the ball carrier and help bring him down. Little to no gain there. Might call it a gain of 1. This Starmount team just fired up and ready to go for this big game, though, Nate.
Yeah, they are. They definitely had a target for Ashe on their schedule here, wanting to end this undefeated run, and so far they've done everything right.
Brings up 2nd down and 9. Bowers throwing all the way, looking deep down the far sideline. This one is caught, and there's what we're used to seeing, a great pitch and catch. Bowers to McNeil before he's brought down by Prescott right at midfield.
First down, Huskies.
Like to have seen more of that earlier on in this ball game. A big hookup that time. Moves it all the way out to the 50-yard line. Nice pass there, close to 30 yards gained in that pass play. We know the rainy conditions have played a factor in the air raid attack for Ashe County, but did not thwart that pass attempt. As we see Bowers quickly back to the action, this no-huddle offense working fast, and there's another pass caught, cutting across the middle, hits his man in stride, and McNeil has yet another first down.
Ashe putting a nice little drive together here, closing out the third quarter.
So move the chains again inside the 40, down about the 39-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Huskies. No huddle offense. Like to try to keep that other team guessing. 5 wide set again. Ashe County's been going to that a lot. No back set. And there's a pass. Just had to get rid of that one before he took the hit. Was Bowers looking in the direction of Owen. That one falls incomplete. Nice defensive pressure being applied once again by Starmount. It's late in this third period here on Sky Zone Sports. Starmount in control 34-7 against the Ashe County Huskies. That perfect season is in doubt right now, to say the least, to keep on going. Live to see 9-0, but Ashe putting together a nice drive here. Not going to go quietly as we see, I was going to say another pass complete, but this one in and out of the hands of Colin Ellis.
Just not been Ashe's night so far. Just some mental mistakes, not able to hang on to the football. Teams have nights like this, and unfortunately it just happens to hit the Huskies tonight.
As we said, we couldn't think of the last time. I guess obviously it was High Brighton last time Ashe was down by 2 scores. We've never seen them in this type of situation, though, all season long, trailing a team 34-7. Facing a 4-score deficit. Now Bowers stepping up, throwing it deep down the field, well over the head, though, of Mason McNeil. 2 men on him, but really no one near that ball.
Yeah, McNeil definitely covered well there, and pass quite a bit overthrown. Ashe really needs to pick up this 4th down here.
So a big situation. You almost have to keep that offense on the field late in the third period, trailing by 4 touchdowns. But it's 4th and 10, right around the Starmount 39-yard line. This offensive unit going nowhere. 5 wide, trips to the right, 2 receivers also to the left, and Bowers is looking to the left all the way, and this one is caught past the first down marker and then some. Nice catch made by Colin Ellis.
Big grab there by your sophomore wide receiver, keeps the Husky drive alive.
So the Huskies have to get a score here to even try to get back into this ball game, and on a big-time play or situation, 4th and 10, they convert. Mark the ball down inside the 25, the 24-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Huskies. Staying in this no-back, 5-wide set. Bowers rifles it out quickly to the left. Pass is caught on the check down by Ellis, and then he just gets pulled by 3 defenders, refusing to go down. And there's some more, maybe a little extracurricular activity after the play in the form of Colin Ellis getting a little chippy over there. I believe that was Prescott. Boy, this rain just been relentless all night, as you can clearly see now, even on camera view. The rain just pouring down here at Starmount High School. It's been like this all night long. And there's a pass to the far sideline. Is caught. Colin Ellis refusing to go down, and he powers his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Huskies.
And nice drive for the Huskies. Marched it right down the field. Put that touchdown in the end zone before the third quarter comes to an end.
So had to come up with something, did the Huskies, to try to have any hopes of perhaps making a comeback or getting this thing a little more interesting heading into the fourth quarter, and they do deliver. Really just the second drive we've seen them put together. Of course, the one drive fell short at the end zone whenever they had an interception on 1st and goal, but other than that, I know they do have another touchdown, but that was when the drive started on the 9-yard line. So just the second time of the game, first time in the second half, the Huskies have put any sort of successful drive together, and they're rewarded with the touchdown. Richardson's extra point attempt is up, no good, wide left. They'll have to settle for 6, so we stand at 34-13 now. The Huskies did put together a great drive there, though, Nate.
Yeah, 9 plays, 79 yards there, and Bowers completes 5 of 8 passes for 78 yards and the touchdown.
So a great series on offense for the Huskies. And Nate, if you're Coach Hampton here, do you go ahead and try to go for the squib kick, offsides kick right here in this situation, even though it's just the third quarter?
You might as well. We've had good success with it so far, and if you kick it deep, we're just going to get more of the Starmount rushing attack. So you might as well try something a little bit different here. See if you can get the football back. Maybe put a little pressure here on the Rams going to the fourth quarter.
Certainly the Huskies will have a bit of momentum on their side regardless. 34-13, though, is where they stand. Hard to get a lot of momentum when you're trailing by 3 scores. Of course, there is another full quarter of play. And still some time left in this third period as well, so we'll see what the Huskies can do and what they choose to do on this kickoff attempt. We see Richardson on to kick. And an onside kick attempt will be fielded, however, and hang on to it. And look at this, cutting it back the other way. He's into Husky territory down inside the 30, the 25, and finally wrestled down. My goodness, Bryant making another huge play, this time on special teams for the Starmount Rams.
Onside kickoff attempt. Return
Boy, I tell you what, that's something you just Really, that's unheard of, an onside kick attempt, and then you allow the return man to go 20, 30 yards the other direction.
Yeah, that's a tough break there for Ashe. Had their momentum going for the first time really tonight, but the onside kick does not work out at all. And Starmount actually able to pick up quite a bit of yardage there and get deep into Husky territory.
It's exactly what you don't want to happen if you're Ashe County. Starmount has it 1st and 10 on the Husky 22 to begin this drive. And there's Johnson working it out to the outside, bouncing out, still on his feet, going to be wrapped up. Nice ankle tackle by Kenny Reed. Joined in on the action by Bradley Lucas. And he's a guy, we've called his name a few times tonight, but he's been all over that field on defense.
He has. Bradley's had a very good night. Senior linebacker out there. He's played practically every snap. He's even been caught on the punt tonight and also be the holder on extra point attempts.
Limits him just a gain of 3 that time for Johnson. As we said, kind of a tag team tackle. Reed and Lucas brings up 2nd down and 7. Ball on the right hash mark. Starmount in control here, 34-13. Ashe did just score. There's another nice play on defense, bringing down Sawyer Davis very quickly.
No gain on the play.
No gain that time. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 7 situation now. So the Ashe County Huskies showing some signs of life, not only on offense, but here making some big plays on defense.
Yeah, for the first time tonight, really busting through that Starmount offensive line and being able to limit the yardage they're being able to get.
And we'll see if this momentum can be sustained, as that's going to do it for the 3rd quarter here tonight. With Starmount in control at the time. Ashe County's going to try to come out and make a statement to start off this 4th period, trailing 34-13 after 3. We'll be back with 4th quarter action here on the Sky Zone HD Game of the Week, brought to you by Miller Insurance.
When it comes to insuring your home, business, automobiles, and property, you want an agency you can depend on. Miller Insurance has been serving this region for more than 60 years and are proud to now represent Everett Cash Mutual, which specializes in insuring farm property, equipment, livestock, and more. Before you renew your insurance policies, give us a call at 336-246-7151 or come see us in downtown West Jefferson. Miller Insurance is proud to be your hometown insurance agency that supports our hometown teams.
Good evening and welcome in once again to the 4th and final quarter of action for another edition of Friday Night Football. Mountain Valley Athletic Conference action. The Starmount Rams hosting the Ashe County Huskies through 3 quarters. Maybe not quite the scoreboard we would be expecting to see right now. Points-wise for these teams, Starmount 34, Ashe County 13.
Been a tough night for Ashe pretty much from the get-go. Starmount ran the opening kickoff back for a score. The weather just not helped Ashe out at all on their passing attack. Slippery football, just some bad throws here and there. But the Rams and their rushing attack has been pretty much constant all night long.
Yes, certainly weather not conducive for an aerial assault. 3rd down and 7 now as we're back to the action. Here comes the misdirection handoff, and that's the 1st down and then some. A great run that time by number 22, Brandon Lopez. Where do they keep getting these athletes to carry the ball? I believe that's his 1st carry tonight.
Yeah, just keep pulling guys off the bench. Maybe they're going to start pulling some out of the crowd here in a little while.
1st down and goal now. Ball all the way down to the 7-yard line of the Ashe County Huskies. Ashe going to have to make a stop here. Had the momentum, it seemed, coming into this quarter. Just scored and then had them in the 3rd and 7 situation. And here comes the handoff. Davis fighting forward, still on his feet inside the 5. Will finally be wrapped up, but it takes Hunter Scott, Jason Baker, and also number 69 for the Ashe County Huskies. Hadn't called his name yet tonight, Jacob Sawyer. Second down and goal now. As the ball is inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. This will be the 5th play of this short drive. Starmount brought that onside kick attempt all the way back to the Ashe County 22. Freed in the backfield, Bryant behind him, man in motion. The handoff goes to Bryant, and he is in again. Another touchdown, a big-time playmaker here for the Rams tonight, displaying his offensive skill set once again.
Just a tough night for Ashe defensively as well. Not used to seeing this at all. Hopefully this is something they'll bounce back from. Definitely a wake-up call. here late in the season. Definitely going to need to wake up before they face Elkin next week.
40 points now for the Starmount Rams, and only 13 for the Ashe County Huskies. Definitely not what folks were expecting coming into this one. I was looking at some pregame predictions, some Simmons ratings, and Ashe was actually a 10-point favorite into this one. I think most people did expect them to be a favorite in this ball game, though you can never discount the Rams. That extra point attempt is off the mark a little bit, to say the least. Maybe the wet field conditions played a part there. That ball just going to roll down. No good was the kick attempt, so that one snuffed out, but the lead still certainly going to be tough to surmount this one, 40-13, as Starmount answered the Ashe County's previous offensive score. 5 plays, 22 yards, capped off by the 4-yard plunge by Trey Bryant. Just starting the fourth quarter here. Once again, tonight's action brought to you by Miller Insurance, located in downtown West Jefferson. And Miller Insurance is a proud 2014 sponsor of Husky football once again. Tyler Ashe alongside Nathan Ham, glad to bring you the action on another edition of Friday Night Football. And what we were expecting to be a very tightly contested matchup has not lived up to that bill. But Starmount, they certainly have fit the bill as one of the top teams in this conference, and displaying it here tonight while they are a perennial powerhouse in the Mountain Valley.
Yeah, year in and year out, we see them at the top of the standings this year. Not going to be any different. They do have a tough road game next week at Allegheny, so you never know what could happen there. But right now we're looking at least 2 teams here with 1 loss, and Elkin undefeated.
So Elmer Alvarez this time, the stand-up man, getting the kick, squib kick attempt, and he was rocked pretty good after that return. Stopped at the 29-yard line. We'll see Ashe take the field now, trailing 40-13. They were able to put together a great drive last time. 9 plays, 79 yards. But it seems like it may be a little too late for the Ashe County Huskies here tonight in terms of trying to pick up that victory. But right now in this situation, they're never going to quit playing and try to work their way back into this as best they can. As we see a great pass caught by Colin Ellis, still on his feet, working it across midfield, now finally brought down from behind. And there's some more of this Husky offense we'd like to have seen in the first half.
Yeah, great individual effort there by Colin. Makes a short grab there, but gets upfield into Starmount territory. And, game's probably out of hand, but you still like to see Ashe get their offense working a little bit better and maybe put another touchdown here in the end zone late in the game.
You can always be certainly looking forward and trying to get momentum heading into the final regular season matchup of the year, as they hit the road once again for Elkin. Now no backs, 5 wide set again. Bowers rolling out to the far side. He's just going to run this one himself right at the first down marker. Good job there getting out of bounds and avoiding the hit. And Bowers again showing off his wheels and getting close to a first down. They're going to say he stepped out just about a yard shy. So that's going to bring up 2nd down and 1. Ball down to the 36-yard line of Starmount, needing to get to the 35 to pick up that first, keep this drive going. Bowers all alone in the backfield, just quick little easy toss out to the right side to Ellis, and that is going to pick up the first down. Ellis, I tell you what, I know he's dropped a couple here, had a few maybe overshot as well, but he must have 6, 7, 8 catches in tonight's game.
I'd say easy. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets to double figures on the night as well. Bowers really looking his way quite a bit tonight.
Trying to work a mismatch, I should say, as Coach Hampton feels like Ellis is the man to get it to. And he has been the leading receiver tonight by far for the Ashe County Huskies. Now looking in that direction again. This one, no. Mason McNeil makes the catch and works it across field into the end zone. Touchdown, Huskies.
Nice play there by the Huskies. Puts a quick touchdown up on the scoreboard. Something you like to see here. Ashe certainly not giving up tonight. Keeping playing hard, just like Coach Hampton wants them to.
So hold everything. The Huskies say they're not going anywhere. So they cut this down to a 3-possession game now, 40-19. As we saw Mason McNeil there getting open across the middle. Bowers hitting him in stride. And a near-perfect drive once again for the Ashe County Huskies. And I know most people, including yours truly here, and Husky fans all around, saying would like to have seen a little bit more of this in the first half, offensive execution.
Yeah, definitely would like to have seen it quite a bit earlier, and would like to see the defense make a few plays earlier in the game as well.
The extra point attempt is no good from Richardson, so it's going to stay a full 3-possession game. 40-19 is our score. Starmount in control in this ball game, but Ashe County able to put together another nice drive, just 4 plays to take it 61 yards, and Connor Bowers, he seems to have straightened things out here the last couple of drives. Perfect on that one.
Yep, 3 for 3, 52 yards, and a touchdown pass to cap it off. Would have liked to have seen that earlier, as you said, as with the fans, the team as well. But good to see them not giving up out there, keep making some plays.
Yeah, still competing are the Huskies, and it ain't over till the fat lady sings. We'll see if Ashe County can continue this momentum that they started at the end of the third period. It would have really felt good about this, Nate, if they could have recovered that onside kick at the end of the third quarter, or at least not given a run back all the way to their own 22.
Yeah, absolutely. Tough, just a tough night for Ashe, but credit goes to Starmount. They really played their game and just kind of imposed their will on Ashe, and the Huskies won't give up. They'll keep fighting hard, but it looks like it's just going to be Starmount's night.
This kick fielded around the 14. Here's Johnson. We've seen what he can do once. He's got room up the sideline, out across the 45 and the 50, working into Husky territory. Finally going to be brought down, but not until he gets it all the way down inside Ashe County 45-yard line. Great field position again for the Rams. Just when you think Ashe County may have the momentum on their side, Starmount answers back.
Yeah, good kick return once again. We've seen several good returns from Starmount tonight. Maybe an unsung part of tonight's game. Obviously, the rushing attack will get some credit, and the defense, but special teams, just another tremendous effort from the Rams.
Frank Beamer would be proud, Nate.
He would be proud.
Beamer ball, as they like to call it at Virginia Tech. Keeping those starters in on special teams and throwing in some trick plays. I haven't really seen any tricks from Starmount, but they haven't needed them so far tonight. As we're back to the action and the handoff off the left side. Not much room to work that time.
Gain on the play, 2nd 9.
Gain of about 1. That time getting the call was Trey Lomax. He's come up with some key plays tonight in his own right for Starmount. Maybe one of the unheralded stars of this Starmount team, both offensively and defensively. So 2nd down and 9 from the Husky 43. Man in motion, as you'll see basically every play. This one's going off to Sawyer Davis. Fights forward for a nice gain of about 4 or 5 yards that time. It's going to bring up a 3rd and a medium length situation. We'll call it 3rd down and 5 for the Rams. They've done very well of 3rd down execution here tonight, Nate.
They have just another thing to add to the list of things that Starmount's done right tonight. Just a few penalties here and there and a couple of errant throws, but Starmount's never going to worry about that passing offense as long as they can move the football on the ground like this.
Controlling the tempo of this game of Starmount, 40-19, evidenced by that scoreboard and the time of possession. This time the handoff bouncing off tacklers, but being forced back finally. Took about 2 or 3 to bring him down. Brandon Lopez, not much room to work. They're going to say he gained a pair. Bring up around 4th down and a long 3.
4th and 3.
They'll say at the Ashe County 37-yard line. We'll see what Starmount chooses to go with here. Do you keep that offensive unit on the field in this case?
Yeah, might as well. It's going to be difficult to gain much ground punting it from here, and definitely a field goal's out of the question. So might as well keep that rushing attack out there, see if they can pick up the 1st down and continue to ice this game away.
4th down and 3. Ashe County looking to get some momentum back on their side again. Freed, though, takes it himself, and there's a dagger right there, to say the least, Nate.
Yeah, tough break for Ashe. Looked like taking a snap out of a shotgun there. Haven't seen that much tonight. Just a straight quarterback keeper there. Husky defense had no answer for that play.
Move those chains again now. Knocking on the door for the red zone as they have the ball all the way down to the Ashe County 31-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams. Key battle here tonight between these two squads. Johnson gets the carry off to the left side. Nothing doing really. Maybe a yard. So we're in a big-time battle late in the season. Everyone's been looking forward to this matchup. And, Nate, I do believe it's easy to say Starmount was, too. Not only were the Husky fans and players and coaches, but Starmount's definitely geared up for this ball game, and they've proven it here tonight.
And Starmount certainly didn't want to lose here on senior night. And a loss here would pretty much guarantee they had no shot at a conference championship. They came out fired up, made some plays early on, and they're going to keep their hopes for a conference championship alive. And now they'll turn right around and pull for the Huskies next week facing Elkin.
It's like strange how things like that work. Tonight, of course, you want to beat them as badly as you can, and next week you're going to be pulling for them to pull off the upset against Elkin.
Yep, that's something. It's funny how sports work sometimes, but you see that every now and then, and here at the high school level, that definitely will be what will happen next week.
Yeah, you said your worst enemy 1 minute, best friend the next, and that's what's going to be here for Ashe County Huskies to Starmount as we'll look at the standings still as of now. Although you can almost assuredly put one loss next to Ashe County. And the way things going at Allegheny right now, Nate, you may be able to put a one loss next to Elkin as well.
Yeah, Allegheny giving Elkin everything they can handle. Actually leading here in the second half at last check. But Elkin, they've trailed at some points this year, still made some nice comebacks. They're undefeated in the conference for a reason.
Sorry to interrupt you, but there's a nice stiff arm from Johnson. We know his speed, but there he is kind of laying down the law on Tristan Jones, I believe, that time, getting the definitely Johnson getting the best of him in that situation.
Yeah, just another running back we'll be happy to see leave after they graduate this coming summer.
But he will be stopped short of the first down, so another fourth down and medium length situation. Last time it was actually 4th and 3. This will be a little bit more difficult, limits the options, but we know what they're going to do, run the ball. 4th down and 5 situation here for the Rams on the Ashe County 27. 40-19 Starmount. Working our way through this 4th and final period. Stop going to be made in the backfield. Ashe County teaming up. First contact made by Kenny Reed. Then we see Bradley Lucas and Tristan Jones, but a flag on the field. And it's going to go against Starmount, but will be declined. So we'll see this Ashe County offense come onto the field, and you never want to completely write things off, Nate. I know they're still down by 3 scores, but if Ashe can put together another nice drive, could get a little interesting in these final minutes of this game.
Yeah, they'll have to score pretty quick right here, but good to see the defense able to get the Rams off the field and keep them out of the end zone here in the 4th quarter.
So the Huskies at least try to make it a little more respectable on the final scoreboard, trailing 40-19 right now, and Coach Scott Johnson wants to talk things over as we're going to get a quick TO. The home side of things here. Timeout Rams. That is their first timeout in the second half. And if you're Coach Johnson, what's the point in this timeout, Nate?
Maybe make sure you got some defensive players here on the same page. He may be going to put some reserve players in here, let them get some playing time. If not, maybe, they play two-way. Pretty much all their players do, so maybe just need a little break here in between, pretty much just flipping fields here with Ashe defense coming off the field and offense coming on.
Just a few minutes remaining in this ball game, and Starmount is in full control, 40-19. Ashe could at least maybe make them think about it a little bit with a quick scoring drive here. So you know they'll be going to the air, 5 wide set. We've seen a lot of this in the second half, no backs. With Bowers, fires it here across the middle. This one well short. Had an open man in Carter Calhoun, but just couldn't get the ball to him.
Yeah, it looked like maybe the ball slipped out of his hands there, or just didn't put enough mustard on it, as they used to say. But nonetheless, be second down here for Ashe.
Second and 10, as you said, after the incomplete pass. Sticking with a 5 wide set, trips to the left, 2 to the right. Bowers dropping back, looking to the two-man side of things. This one tipped, nearly intercepted. Sawyer Davis got his hands on that one, and then we saw Prescott closing quickly, trying to come up with the INT.
Yeah, nice coverage there. If Davis hadn't tipped that, Ellis might have had that and still been running. It looked like he had a nice little seam route drawn up. He might have just ran the rest of the way into the end zone.
Quickly facing a third down situation now are the Huskies after 2 incompletions. It's going to be 3rd down and 10. No huddle formation once again. Ashe County likes to just keep things working quickly. Drops the snap, though, to Bowers. Now rolling out, throwing on the run. This one is caught, however. Nice catch made, fighting forward to that first down mark, and I believe picking it up was Jacob Worley.
Nice second effort there by Worley. Senior wide receiver picks up enough for the first down, keep the drive going.
And that will move those chains as he is forced out of bounds.
First down, Husky.
First and 10 for the Huskies out across their 35. Mark it at the 37-yard line. 1st down and 10. Ashe getting in the signal from the far sideline. Coach Brian Hampton. We saw Ashe start using the 5-wide set against Allegheny. Haven't seen it a lot lately, but we've almost used it exclusively in this 4th period and also in the 3rd. Nice touch pass over there to the right side. Lofted that one in there and into the hands of senior wideout Evan Owen, and that moves it over to Starmount's side of the field.
Yep, nice little play there. Nice pitch and catch. Gets it across midfield. Ashe put another nice drive here together. Maybe too little too late, but still good to see the offense getting some momentum. Maybe they can carry it into the season finale.
That'll make it 1st and 10. On the Starmount 49-yard line. There we see another soft toss out to the right side. This one is hauled in by Ellis, but not much doing there.
Ellis on the reception.
Little to no gain. They'll say pickup of 1. Makes it 2nd down and 9 on the Ram 48. Bowers drops back in the gun. Takes the shotgun snap. Across the middle, hits Ellis in stride. He's down inside the 40. Now shoves one man off inside the 35, but forced out of bounds, and he slung Mr. Holcomb there to the ground with authority, number 32 for the Rams.
Yeah, not a play he's going to want to remember from tonight. Absolutely gets slung to the ground by a sophomore wide receiver.
Been about the only bright spot tonight for the Huskies has Colin Ellis. By now, he'd have to be in double digits in catches.
Oh, easily.
Nice game for the sophomore. Being used almost exclusively in this pass attack. Been the favorite target of Bowers tonight. May have something to do with Jacob Blevins being out for the Huskies. This another toss out to Ellis, and he keeps it moving down the field before he's pushed out on the far sideline. Another 1st down for Ashe County.
Just keep moving the football, keep making some plays here. Good to see the Huskies not giving up on this ball game yet.
If they could have gotten this consistency on offense going in the first half, we may have a different scenario right now instead of 40-19.
Yeah, you may be exactly right on that. And then again, Starmount may be playing a different defense, really backing off wide receivers. But, yeah, you know, Connor had this sort of accuracy in the first half. He struggled a little bit with his throws, but if he'd been passing like this, may not have mattered what kind of defense the Rams were throwing at him. These throws have been right on the money.
Again, no back set. Bowers firing out, looking to the corner of the end zone. It is up and just in and out of the hands of Mason McNeil, but don't discount some nice defense there by John Johnson.
Yeah, nice coverage, as you said right there. But, hey, if you're going to throw a jump ball, you might as well throw it to your biggest wide receiver out there. McNeil's certainly that guy.
So that's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 after he's looking to the corner of the end zone for McNeil. As you said, most of the times you love that matchup there in the corner of the end zone with him throwing the jump ball. And we're actually going to get a timeout called onto the field. I believe that was Starmount making the call here. And for the Huskies, Nate, as we take a look at their schedule, of course, next week it'll be just as tough, maybe even a match up against Elkin, another really athletic team.
Yeah, and Elkin beat this Starmount team earlier in the season, so that'll make it even more important for Ashe. Definitely don't want to enter the playoffs on a 2-game losing skid. Would like to have a little bit of momentum started. Obviously, we'll probably still get at least one home game in the playoffs with our performance this season, but would like to close out the regular season with a victory.
And certainly can't discount the fact that the Huskies did start out this season 8-0, and if they don't make a comeback here, of course, we'll fall to 8-1, which is looking like will be the case right now. But Elkin, their overall record not the most impressive, 5-4, and depending on the outcome of tonight's game here, could be 5-5 if they're not able to make a comeback at Allegheny. But that's going to be a huge game next week. It's going to be their senior night as well.
Yeah, they'll be playing Starmount. Starmount will be playing Allegheny on Allegheny's senior night, and we'll also be part of Elkin's senior night. So just unfortunate how that's been a turn of event for us.
Oh, and another shot to the corner of the end zone. McNeil does make the catch, but like he was out of bounds. He was trying to, I think, con the referee into saying, hey, just give it to us.
Yeah, can't blame him at all there. They might not have got a good view on that. He may have just been hoping for the best there, but don't blame him for trying to get a touchdown to add to the old stat book.
Great effort nonetheless from McNeil. Bowers led him just a bit too much. Did have his man beat. Makes it 3rd down and 10 now for the Huskies in red zone territory. All about the 19-yard line. Bowers trying to step up. He's going to have to run it himself. Gets out there in the far sideline and finally going to be stood up and forced out, but nice job using his wheels once again to pick up the first.
Yeah, smart play by Connor once again. Don't force a bad throw there. Just take what the defense will give you.
So move those chains again for the Huskies. Down to the 6-yard line, makes it 1st and goal situation. And other than Connor Bowers running it 4 or 5 times here tonight, Nate, I don't think the Huskies have ran it, but maybe 3 or 4 in other instances.
Yeah, not really any design running plays, hardly at all tonight. The Rams probably see everything thrown at them here lately just to try to knock down the defending conference champions. But needless to say, Ashe not really messing with any of the design runs.
Bowers scrambling around, trying to just find room to throw. He does, and laying out. And did he come up with the pick? No, they say it is not intercepted. That'll be nothing more than an incomplete pass. Prescott making a valiant effort that time, though, to try to make another interception.
This Ram defense not quitting either. They'd like to keep Ashe under 20 points. See who wins in this battle of offense and defense down here in the closing minutes of the 4th.
So that'll make it 2nd down and goal. Ball still at the 6. Ashe County just playing for pride here. This instance, trying to get some more points on the board. Bowers dropping back, going to be feeling the heat again. Got to get rid of it, and he is not able to. No room to work, and my goodness, I believe that's sack number 4, Trey Bryant. But after he makes the play, does fall to the ground almost immediately.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay. Hate to see anybody get hurt, especially this late in the game, but pretty much been decided. Don't want to see either team have any injuries.
Interestingly enough, as you said, Starmount still want to get these first-team guys, a lot of them still on the field, and one of those being Trey Bryant. Looks like he comes up a little bit gimpy, but hopefully he will be okay. He certainly had his footprint all over this ball game, both on offense and defense.
Yeah, strong two-way game for him as well. And several other kids you can mention playing terrific on both sides of the football. We've seen John Johnson in coverage a few times making some nice plays. How about their quarterback playing in the secondary as well? Zach Freed's making some nice hits and just not afraid to put a hit on somebody, even though knowing he's pretty much the only team's quarterback.
So Bryant gets some assistance there to the Starmount sideline. And that system of employing guys both on offense and defense, and several of them also on special teams, paid off here tonight for Coach Scott Johnson and this Starmount squad. Ashe County not able to use the fatigue factor they have many times here. And another pass, this one off the mark, was looking in the way of Mason McNeil. Going end zone was Bowers, but going to be batted down for another incompletion. Makes it 4th down and goal now. All right around the 16, 17-yard line. After that sack just a couple of plays ago. Still a goal situation. 4th down, though. Bowers loses the handle this time and able to fall back on it, but that's going to be a turnover on downs. Tough break there for the senior QB, just losing the handle.
Yeah, tough end for Ashe here on this possession. Starmount will take over and look to just kind of melt the rest of this clock away with the running game.
So last-ditch effort there for the Huskies. Try to at least get some more points on the board, make it a little more respectable looking on the board, crossing the 20-point threshold. They're going to have to settle, it looks like, for just 19 in this one as Starmount can just need maybe 1 first down here and just run this clock on out.
Yeah, that's what they'll try to do here, just try to put an end to this ball game and celebrate a big win on senior night.
40-19 as Starmount takes over after the turnover on downs. They won't even have to pick up a first down, I guess, just run this clock out. As we see Freed take the snap, hands it off, working to the outside. Man, they're still competing on this field out here tonight, Nate.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
No gain. They'll call it maybe just a slight gain. Still going to call it 2nd down and 10. Starmount just content to let this clock roll on down. See if they even have to get off another snap here. See if they just go to victory formation. And indeed they do, as we see Freed take a knee. And that's going to do it here for football action tonight.
Quarterback takes the knee.
So the clock winds down.
Time is wearing down.
And as we see the clock roll on down there, 2 zeros. The bell tolls, and we have gone final here tonight from Starmount High School as the Rams come up with the upset and put an end to the perfect Ashe County season to a tune of 40-19.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have had that perfect season to talk about. Would have definitely been a first in school history. But, you know, a lot for Ashe to build off on tonight. And though they've got to kind of cinch up that rushing defense, they'll face a lot more teams like Starmount the rest of the way than they will face teams like North Wilkes and West Wilkes and teams like that. They're going to have to be able to prepare and play hard against some talented teams.
So the Huskies falling short in this one. Starmount coming up with a big statement victory, I would say, here tonight, to say the least. They improved to 7-3. Ashe going to fall to 8-1 on the season. So the hopes for the perfect year will be dashed, but certainly not the hopes of a conference title.
Yeah, still got that much to play for next week. You know, pretty much simple right now. Beat Elkin and you're a conference champ. Even if you do call it a co-conference championship, it's still, you know, they're still going to put up a banner. It's still going to be a conference title, which will be 2 years in a row.
Yeah, that's exactly right, even though it does take away maybe the chance of a straight-out conference title, which would be the first in school history. The Huskies, they got to worry about taking care of Elkin now. Can't dwell on this one too much as we take a look at the top performers for tonight for the Ashe County Huskies. Connor Bowers struggled a bit at times, but he did throw the ball 47 times, but did tally over 300 yards as his impressive season continues as he crosses the 30-touchdown mark this year.
Yeah, Colin Ellis, big game. We talked about him getting into double-digit receptions. He certainly did there in the fourth quarter. 12 grabs, 145 yards, and a touchdown. And Mason McNeil, 5 catches, 88 yards, and a score. And how about Bradley Lucas? Big night, 20 tackles on defense. Of course, you might expect that facing a team that runs the ball a lot, but still racking up 20 tackles. That's definitely something to be impressed with.
Yeah, and you talk about the continued play of the Baker brothers. There's Sean tallying 11 tackles, 1 for a loss, and Evan Owen, I believe this is his 3rd straight game with an interception.
I believe so.
So a great effort there from several top performers for the Ashe County Huskies. Unfortunately for them, not the results that they were looking for. So we take a look at the Husky schedule now as loss column. Hits 1 on the season, their first loss of the season here in the next to last game. Still a very impressive season, though, to say the least, for the Huskies. 8-1, 5-1. Going to have to rebound quickly, though, Nate, as they face Starmount next week, and a quick preview there.
Yeah, Elkin, tough team. They're certainly as athletic, if not more so, than Starmount. And it's also going to be their senior night. We have to, deal with another group of pumped-up seniors and another team that likes to play their kids on both sides of the football. Like to put their best athletes out there. So it's going to be a tough contest for Ashe.
So we'll be ready to give you the action next week. And, of course, we thank you for watching again here on the Sky Zone HD Game of the Week, brought to you by Miller Insurance. For Nathan Ham, Corbin Richardson, Angus Lamont, and everyone at Sky Zone Sports, I'm Tyler Ashe. Thanks for watching.